And that's why I'm no longer allowed within 300 metres of a Toys R Us.
I just can't believe you did that with the giraffe.
Yeah, I was very drunk.
But why pictures?
Well, I had to sell something to the papers. Oh, shit.
Oh, hello. Oh, I didn't see you there. How are you? Welcome back to session 10.
Bad.
Session 10 double digits, guys.
Whoa! Oh my god, it actually is.
Yeah. But that's nowhere near the significance of the fact that on filming day, it's Fiona's birthday!
It is my day.
It is your day.
It is my day.
And in celebration of that fact, we've given your character a preemptive strength and constitution penalty, just so you feel really at home.
Level 2.
I know, that timed really well, wasn't it?
Well, your back's starting to go, you know.
Right inside.
Indeed. Right, so as a recap, last time the party, after trekking and tracking a hag all the way through a swamp into her cave, fought your way inside, killing a lot of blights that were guarding the initial entrance, finding a lot of equipment to take back to the Athena, and making your way into the main chamber. This is pretty much death, like, acceptable, isn't it? You had the blind last time, now we've got the... We're just helping all.
Just keep making notes down.
Yeah.
Just doing the actions, man. You know?
Yeah. Visual of the mind.
That's really good. Keep it up.
Yeah.
You made your way into the big chamber where you foiled some sort of summoning ritual with a creature bubbling up through the cauldron. You fought the hag into the point that she successfully, unfortunately, managed to escape, closing the wooden palisade behind you and summoning a second and larger set of blights in the cave. I'm just trying desperately to ignore you here. It's very tricky. Into the cave, which the party very ably fought off. A bit of blindness thrown in, a bit of panicking. Odie was almost crushed, but you got your way
I
out.
was so close for my third character.
I know.
Episode 10.
I know.
What a shame.
All my characters as well. But you managed to get your way out and finding some treasure, finding some more supplies, some food. You made your way out and camped for the evening, where everybody took some well-needed rest. Leveled up. We've all leveled 4 now, which is great. The graphics, yep, this way. Should be up to date now, which is really good. And then several things happened. Everybody woke up, and
confusion.
A bit of confusion as the party made your way, several more magic items in hand. Everything sort of activated after the long rest. With your newfound abilities and confidence, you made your way down to the Tabaxi settlement, down in the sort of, I want to say east. Was it west of the bowl? I haven't got the map in front of me.
East.
Sam, you've got the map.
It's the forest, so it's north. Yeah, no, west. It is west.
It is the
Southwest.
Southwest. Oh, there's the map. I can see the map over there.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, perfect. So you make your way into the west of the island, where you went and met again with the leader, Riza. Riza? What have I written? I change this every time. Riza. There we go. Consistency is king. After handing over the Lizardfolk heads that you had produced from Blue's very able decapitation earlier, you were not quite welcomed as allies, but certainly respect was offered to you, where you were invited, along with Riz's 2 daughters, Drazda and Saras, to essentially launch a... I know, it's really distracting, launch a surprise attack on the Lizardfolk settlement on the island with the aim of killing the Lizardfolk ruler in charge, who is said to have increased the aggression of this particular tribe, and just generally is an evil corruption on that. But that's kind of how we left. You guys were leaving the village. So
Mine leaving.
Anything you need clarification on? Anything you want to do before you go?
Yes. So level 2 exhaustion. What does that mean? Because I know I've taken the penalties to strength and constitution, but
I used the word exhaustion a little bit ambiguously. Okay. The -2 strength and constitution is what I mean. You don't actually have any exhaustion in terms of exhaustion,
Right,
exhaustion
so
for...
nothing about ability checks or...
Nope.
or cool.
Nope.
Just wanted to double check.
That's fine.
You
For
got
now,
level 2 naked.
Yeah. Okay.
well, you're knackered enough to take a
Yeah, these things, but
like a definite impact to your strength and constitution.
I didn't know if it would be like disadvantage on ability checks and half speed, because that's what's in the...
No,
yeah, that's
not
what-
quite that bad. No, not quite that bad this time. Although, if you... Again, the graphic will pop up in a second. Even with the -2 constitution, she's still got way more health than everybody else. So, I mean, I'm sure she'll be fine.
I mean, those stats are bullshit.
It doesn't stop her from dying first time, I tell you. So, is there anything else you would like to do before you leave? Or the party can meet?
I would like to do something, if I may.
Yeah, of course.
So, knowing that they're about to leave and go into a fight, Theren would like to approach the group. And first things first, say, are you sure you're up for this now? We don't mind if you want to go back to the Athena and just wait.
What are we doing? Sorry, I keep... What's happening?
We're going to go and kill the King of the Lizards.
That old chestnut.
There's not really another way of saying it, I'm afraid.
Once we do this, the cat people will give us supplies for the ship. So
And
we
we
can
can leave.
sail to Yibrit.
What cat people?
The tobacco.
yeah,
Right.
we did.
That was when you were... the Tabaxi are the cat people that live here. We've sort of formed an alliance with them.
Amazing.
And to clarify, you will have seen a few of them with the cart, and actually the 2 daughters have arrived with the party. So there are
Okay.
currently 7 individuals. You've got the 3 of yourselves, Odie, Vincent, and then you've also got Drazda and Saras, the 2 Tabaxi. Again, probably sort of Drazda is sort of, I'd say, early 20s, and Lurk, although it's very difficult to tell with the sort of feline features and the fur, whiskers. Both are sort of mottled blacks and greys. You can see Drazda is sort of very, very delicately robed in a sort of blue flowing sort of robe, effectively very sort of just sort of regal. You can see various bits and pieces, sort of knickknacks, things that have been written down on her belt. Very sort of shyly, just sort of walking along with the group, very keeping to herself. Saras, you'd say probably a little bit younger, only about 5'5", but definitely more ably sort of equipped. You can see various knives and weapons on her body, but doesn't really appear to be having any sort of major weapons. She sort of steps very deftly, very confidently, and is very sort of keenly observing the party. So you do know at least a couple,
them.
yeah. But
Okay.
you haven't been to the village yet. So that's to clarify.
Just making sure. Yeah.
These 2, Saras and Drazda, they are the daughters of the Queen of the Tabaxi. They're going to help us kill the Lizard King.
Okay. I'd rather stay with you guys. I don't want to go back to the ship by myself.
All right. You take this then, and I take the greater healing potion out of my pack and I give it to Aubrey. Emergencies, obviously. And I take one of the healing potions and give it to Blue.
Oh, perfect. So make sure you mark it down in your sheets. So
Yep.
you'll remember what's what. Do what? Yes, exactly. Stepping back into that. Odie and Vincent do not have any potions on them, but just to double check, where do people think potions are, just so we can check.
I have 1 healing potion. I also have a potion of giant strength.
Yes, you've got a regular potion as well, and you've got
Just
the
got
greater
this.
healing.
Just got this.
Yeah.
What was that creepy potion we found
Giant strength.
in the first?
The creepy potion in the first place was the greater healing potion. I should clarify that, just in case anybody's unsure, because we had to double check through the
How many
notes.
potions
and
we got,
I think we did mention it very briefly, but
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Also, in regards to any casualties that may be taken, which one is it? Saras, that's the rogue.
yeah,
one.
Saras. Once you start giving the plan, she's the one that wanders up and sort of almost seems to sense a level of authority from you. Sort of comes up, arms folded. You can see only sort of a slight figure compared to you, but she's clearly very dexterous. Listens in.
Saras,
Yes.
are you more comfortable in melee range, or do you prefer to stick towards the
I will be
back?
on the front line.
All right. Okay then. In terms of anyone who requires healing, you, Blue, you're best taken care of. Anyone further back.
Yep.
I will take care of anyone who requires it towards the front lines.
Not me.
It's not me.
It's totally me.
I was going to say.
Ignore me. Didn't turn my internet off. It's very
Turn my
unprofessional.
phone off.
Please continue.
Is everyone alright with this plan?
What do we know about the place we're going to infiltrate?
And sort of Sarah sort of thinks about it. Well, they live in a little settlement called the Nook, we call it. It's an assortment of wooden barricades amongst the deepest parts of the swamp. The lakes and puddles there, filthy things. They swim in them. They seem to bathe in the waters, but it's an assortment of sort of swampland, hills. There's a raised area amongst some of the large trees where the main settlement is. But the Lizardfolk, they hunt. They defend themselves aggressively. We should expect scouting parties. There is at least one perimeter camp that we would either need to try and stealth past or attack before we can get to the main camp.
How many would be at this camp?
It's difficult to say without looking. The hunting parties, they number for anywhere between 3 and 5. You provided us 5 heads, I'm sure you know that by now. And I don't know, we haven't been within local areas of the Nook in some time. It's very ably guarded and they tend to shoot intruders on sight.
Okay. I turn to Odie. Odie, are you alright leading us again?
Oh yes, yeah, perfectly. With Cyrus's help, I'm sure we can make our way ably.
Excellent. Then I would ask you two to stay at the front. Aubrey and I will be close behind you in case there's any attacks, and the rest will fall in line beyond that. Are we agreed?
Well, Vincent shouts out, well, if you don't mind, I'm fairly perceptive. I can stay near the back and keep Blue company, and there's a delightful Drazda here. We can keep us at the back, and then maybe Cyrus can help Odie at the front.
Excellent. Good thinking.
So Cyrus, may I ask, what is the plan here? We seem to be are we just approaching and attacking?
I've given it some thought. I think if we can find our way into the very back of the lizard camp. Now, their structures do they live in tents, or is it more like hovels?
Hovels.
Right.
Filthy things made of wood. They lack any civilization.
Okay, then if it's only made of wood, then we might be able to break into the back of one of them. If we can find the largest one, it will likely be where the leader is. We break into the back, kill him, take the head, take it outside in, and force a surrender.
I will ultimately leave the decision to you because you seem to be able warriors, but I will leave 2 comments. Either we sneak in, like you say, try and take the head, and then run away. But the issue is that we would have to sneak ably through large amounts of Lizardfolk, and no offence, but...
None taken, I have no skill for sneaking.
Exactly. My second comment would be, if we don't take out the Lizardfolk we encounter on the way, and we muck up the stealth, there's nothing to stop everybody from seeing summoned and raiding the village. We could be caught amongst 15, 20 Lizardfolk. There would be very little chance of escape. Well, let me put it another way. There would be very little chance for you to escape. We would be out of there. No offense.
What? So you're sharp and pointy, killy.
I will crush them with my bare hands.
Cool.
You can see like thick nails and claws sort of in her hands, so she sort of very ably sort of brings them together.
And Dresda, what skills do you have?
Some spells.
Cool, me too. What kind of spells?
Midget missiles.
Oh, that sounds good. I can't do those.
Okay.
Excellent, they will be incredibly useful. I think it's in our best interest to take out the outlying camp first, kill them all, and then we'll move on the main camp.
Yep, okay.
Sneak in the back when your mother creates the distraction for us.
Yeah, and you remember you have a time. There is a time, a couple of hours after noon, that this distraction will be made. So, with a bit of, you discuss the plan amongst yourselves, the idea being you take out a couple of Lizardfolk on the way, reduce the numbers, and when the distraction happens, hopefully there'll be very little left in the camp itself. Does that sound like the plan you've come up with? Perfect. Right. Okay, wonderful. So what I would like you all to do is we will get... Actually, the survival check will happen over here because that's Odie. Yep, you're fine.
Does it feel weird?
No problem even.
It's more the yelping.
You're very welcome to keep hold of Odie if you want to control a second set of stats, if that's what you want to do.
I'm good with my stats.
Okay. What I would like afterwards is as you start to approach, as you go through the bowl, again, that familiar swampy forest, the trees become less sparse, shorter, thinner, the ground more uneven. As you journey into the east of the island, the ground becomes that familiar, that smell, the organic matter of the rotting, just biodegradable material within the swamp itself. The puddles become small lakes, streams become marshes. It becomes very difficult, but with Odie's help and with Ceres's... Not Ceres. It is Ceres, isn't it?
Saris.
No, with Drazda's... No, Saris will give the instructions, so I'm just getting this right.
It's fucking thump all over again.
With Saris's instruction, you very ably make your way through. Now, as you approach the village, everybody make a perception check for me. Please.
Ooh.
That almost went to a 1.
13.
13.
Unnatural 20.
Unnatural 20.
Okay. The two of you, as you start approaching, you're probably maybe about 20 minutes away from where you think the Nook is based, based on the instructions, where you hear familiar cracks of noises ahead of you, of a moving party. Similar to the noises you make, you're trying to sort of move as stealthily as you can, but familiar sounds of footfall and movement of a small party. Odie will sort of puts her ear to the ground, listens for a second, maybe spends like a minute or so, and goes, "Yes, I think that's them. Yes, 5 of them, I would reckon. Does that sound like what we're looking for?"
That's it. Is everyone ready?
So this is the scouting party we're taking down.
Yes. Now.
It seems so. They're moving, certainly. If we want to catch them, we've maybe got a minute to sort of move sort of behind
Right.
them.
Very quickly. Odie, Vincent, it is going to be on you to stop any that try and run away. Use your bows. Make sure they don't escape.
Right. That sounds like a plan.
Alright. Everyone else ready?
Stealth.
Perfect.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
Right.
Vincent sort of comes behind you, sort of puts your hand on your head and goes, "You know, my dear, it might actually be very good therapy to whack something. You know? Might help. Clear the brain a bit."
Get that rage reigniting your brain. What he said.
Okay.
Drazda, if they do attempt to run, I also want you to try and take them out.
Okay.
You can do this. You will be alright.
Magic users, we look after each other, yeah.
So at this point, she's already started taking like various bits of like written material and is like very quickly fumbling through it and just nervously going through notes.
So
As actually, Sarah very confidently sort of gets up. You can see she's got like her arms ready, starting to stealth forward with you. Let's approach. Great. Right, we're going to set up a map.
Woo!
Hooray! So, as we set the map up here, you see the party in front of you. We're using our favourite orcs and a space marine this time. This is going to be great. This is just really keeping you in the zone of the fantasy feel. Theren, we've got Drazda, the white with the swords. Here we'll be sort of stealthing along with the front.
Stuff.
You've got... Sorry, so Dresda is... I'm going to get this...
told
Why
you.
can't I just remember the bloody name?
I know, we've
Right.
remembered it.
Dresda, the wizard, Tabaxi, she is sort of at the back, along with Odie, Vincent. Aubrey is sort of towards maybe
Yeah, I think
middle,
in the middle,
just sort of
yeah.
hanging back in the middle
Mhm.
over there. Actually, I'll bring these guys
I was
forward.
going to say,
We can't
where's
quite,
Yeah, you
blue?
can't
can't quite see, can
Wouldn't
we?
Odie be at the front? 'Cause she
No, I
leading
thought she
the
was. I thought she was at the back, and then you guys went forward.
Oh, okay.
That's why I
Be
see.
here.
I can move this back a bit.
Wonderful. No, that's right. You
That's
guys
right.
are, if
Okay.
anything, going forward rather than anything else.
That is also true.
So, what I would like is for everybody to roll initiative,
Ooh.
just so that we've got an order.
Ooh, it wasn't terrible.
So, hang on, let me just do it. So, Dresda is that.
His own party now that he has to roll for.
I know, it's just like freaking terrible. And then we've got Saras.
Yeah, Ryan, you have.
Saying
There's
that
more
we're-
NPCs in
That's
our
how terrible
party
we
than
are.
actual people.
Yeah, I know, you've built up a little following. This is kind of what you do.
Shout if I can control some of them.
Do you want to? You can take the stats. I'll tell them. I'll tell you what they do, but you can roll in whatever for you if you want.
If that makes life easier, whatever.
Right. We'll do
Okay.
a little bit of that.
But yeah.
So tell you what.
Whatever.
David, you can roll for the 2 tabaxi for me.
Great. I'll use clearies for them.
Series. Make sure you get good rolls though.
You can have Vincent, and you can have Odie.
Sass me.
Perfect.
I'm just rolling for the tobacco.
You're going to roll for tabaxi. I'll let you know what they do. So, initiative. What has Blue got?
15.
15 for Blue. Okay, what about Theren?
Also 15, but Blue has more dexterity, so he'll go first.
Okay, perfect. And
5.
5.
3.
She's just come back to life. She's a bit sluggish.
That seems fine. Oh, I've just totally written this on the wrong bloody thing.
Oh well.
Damn it!
Oh no.
Hang on.
Oh no.
Hang on. Oh,
That's
what
for
have
the
I done?
next fight.
What are Vincent's stats? Out of curiosity. Oh, you know what? They're not
Yeah,
bad.
they're pretty, yeah.
Yeah, they're not bad, aren't they? Yeah.
This is what happens when you rush things.
No, don't worry.
Okay, perfect. So what I want everybody to do is make a stealth check for me. We're going to see who can remain hidden and whether or not the Lizardfolk pick up on you.
Great. Well, I'm just
So-
going to do mine first 'cause it's a disadvantage.
Yep. Disadvantage.
Well, that's a natural one.
Natural 1. Fantastic. We'll get Aubrey, and then do you want to roll for your characters?
Yeah,
These are the
I will.
extra ones. Dresda is at a 0, so she will just...
Okay.
Yep, no stealth bonus. And Saras has a +5.
Okay. Dresda is 9 and Saris is 12.
12. Okay.
6 for Aubrey and a natural 20. So that's 26 for Odie.
Perfect.
Can we have Odie back in the party?
Yeah. Odie is with us. Just not.
Odie's the heart of the
She's
party.
now got a very male voice.
What are you trying to say? Jeez.
You're very manly.
That's true. We'll roll for some perceptions for...
Oh,
you get. Yeah, I was going to say, what about.
Yeah.
Blue's got 10, Vincent's got 23.
23. Okay, fine. So, I'll pass it. So anybody who got
Vincent got
13 or lower
Right?
is spotted. So anyone
Me
that
and
got
the two tabaxi.
And me.
And me?
perfect.
So
So
everyone
that should
got-
just be Odie and Vincent.
Yeah, that haven't been spotted.
Yep.
Perfect. So they, getting themselves in defense positions, Odie is going to cross the river and hide behind the tree just to the left of the bridge. There we go. Vincent is going to creep forward and wait behind the tree. Again, the other side of the river. That's kind of where he gets to. This is a 5-foot map rather than a 10-foot map.
Excellent.
Perfect. They will not attack otherwise. The Lizardfolk all sort of turn around, start snarling, pointing, reacting in some guttural language, weapons sort of drawn, like sort of seemingly working out who's over in that area. You see a various assortment of people, actually. One of the Lizardfolk, a sort of shorter, more ranting one, has a sort of yellow bandana, almost sort of created after some sort of stained cloth that's sort of wrapped around his head. You can see a second one with huge teeth, just covered in knives and various little bits of bone that have been gathered on various necklaces. Third one with a pretty nasty looking bow slung over his shoulder, which he's now getting out. You can see a fourth who seemed to be walking with a distinct limp, a very sort of just uncomfortable sort of gait, but sort of springs into action. Again, all of them with this familiar heavy shields, apart from the one with the bow. Shields ready, spikes made out of some sort of animal shell, in some cases wood, in others, various sort of scavenged materials. You can see the weapons are haphazardly collected from various places, scavenged metals. They all seem to be very mismatched. And the fifth lizard, different to the rest, not dressed in armours and weapons, very much dressed in more loose, flowing clothes, sort of more cloth clothes, sort of looks over and is snarling and seems to be sort of not giving orders, but certainly sort of clicks for one and gets him to move over. So, Actually, the first people to react to
I was
this
going to say.
are the lizards. There were
okay.
not great initiatives here. So the one on the far right, is going to sprint. He doesn't see Vincent, but he will go for Theren, and he can swim. So he's going to go 60 feet towards Theren. It's the first and closest. 50,
Yes.
60. So he does just about make it. You can see this lizard folk sort of arriving, this sort of tattered various bandanas on him as he takes his heavy club and just starts whooshing at you, attacking almost without really any sort of reason to. 21 to hit.
Yeah, that does.
That hits, and the second attack is a 22 to hit.
Yes.
Wow.
Ooh, dear.
Okay, so both hit. Boop. And boop. Oh, that's so the two, just as he comes over and just starts crashing at you viciously. You take 13 damage in total of these 2 hits.
Okay.
They just start impacting you. The shield, your shield gets hit and just yanked off, and the second blow hits you across the chest. The armor absorbing most of the impacts, but you still stagger back and go, "Oh, you moved quick." The second one covered in sort of knives and various bones. The one on the far left, sort of for me, again is going to try and sprint forward. I don't know if he's going to quite get there.
Swim.
5, 6.
So that's 30 feet and
Yeah,
another 30 feet because
he's
he's
sprinting
taking
it.
the dash action. Sorry, the other one dashed, so he engages you, but he does not attack. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Do not take any damage. Ignore that.
Well, that's
I
lucky.
wasted the bloody good rolls, didn't I?
Oh.
I'm sorry, that's 2 actions. You can't do that, Ryan. You can't do that. Odie, from her position of stealth, watches the lizard creature with the teeth and the knives and jangling the bones as he moves. This horrible sort of wind chime effect as they all knock into each other, hollow and wasted as they are. Odie sort of creeps from her tree. You can see her sort of taking focus on the target. We'll put like a little D4 just next to the thing.
Oh, to the,
She hunters marks, and Odie's going to make an attack. So do you want to mark off the spell for her?
I will,
and
yes.
she'll make an attack.
Oh.
With her new and improved to hit.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay. Technically they've acted, aren't they? So yeah, just like, that is a 12 plus 8, so 20.
20 hits. Yeah.
I should stop making these noises. No, that's great.
No, it's what I do all the time. So 6 plus 4 is 10, and then Hunter's Mark is just a 1.
Oh. 1. Okay. Ari, so he's rushing in, not quite panting, but clearly has given a lot of effort to close the ground as quickly as he can. And Ari just catches him under the shield, boom, straight into the torso. He quickly rips it out. Blood sort of gushing everywhere as the big hit. Sort of looks around desperately, sees Odie, and sort of snarls.
Oh gosh.
Oh gosh.
Oh no.
And she sort of is drawing another arrow, but gets a good hit in. But otherwise, she is going to sort of stay there because you don't think the others have seen her just yet. The one with the jetpack closest to me.
No, this one, right?
No, it'll be the one on the far, the one with the bow. He's going to move 30 feet towards just by the bank of where the river starts,
Yep.
so get as close as he can on that little island. There we go, perfect. Hiding behind the tree, sort of poke out, and phew, an arrow shoots out, and he's going to go towards where it'll be Saras is the easiest target for him. So he will make a hit.
Who's behind a tree?
Isn't she behind a tree?
She is, so she's got a little bit of cover.
Nice work, you two.
That is only a... No, that doesn't hit. No, the arrow just funks into the trunk beside her. She sort of
You could have
looks up,
saved her.
sort of making that horrible sort of cat-like snarl as she looks at the target. As he goes, pulls out a second arrow, makes a second shot at her. This time hits. For 4 damage. So you see the arrow. The second one, he tracks his target just slightly for the wind or whatever, sort of took this first shot off. The arrow sails through the air, and in slow motion, just as it's about to hit her, you see her just with a reaction, just catch it out of the air and stamp on it, just snapping the arrows sort of down on her arms.
Does
as
she
comes
want
down.
passage on the Athena?
Well, the lizard, very bemused, looks up from his hiding location, drawing another arrow, and sort of quickly tries to find another target. The one in red, you guys really did roll badly on initiative.
I got 15, I thought I did alright.
And it's just me.
He's going to retreat slightly behind sort of a log on the floor. He'll sort of climb over it.
Then use
You
the
see him
rocket
sort of
launcher.
calculating. Sort of rummages around briefly in his sort of pouch that he's got on a belt just under his robes and pulls out a sort of gleaming gold ring that you see him sort of put on. And he starts to chant this horrible gutter-like magic. As springing from existence, 3 bolts of magical energy shoot out. This time hitting Theren, who again was sort of a good target. So magic missile coming towards you, which instantly hits, unfortunately.
Cool.
You take 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points of force damage as these bolts smack into you. You manage to get the shield up for the last 2, but the first one strikes you into the armour. These impacts, you sort of have to sturdy yourself, tense your muscles up as they come in, but you manage to block the worst of it. Blue, you are first up.
Goody! From fighting with Odie, would I kind of know how Hunter's Mark works?
In terms of...
If I kill this dude, will it waste her ability to pass it on to someone else?
You're not really... make an Arcana check for me.
Because speaking of Sam, I can't remember.
Yeah.
17 plus 3... Oh no, that's Vincent.
Those good rolls though.
17.
17. You see her cast a spell and some sort of, her attention is drawn, but you don't know. You don't know. You've seen her do something similar before, but you're not really aware that it's Hunter's Mark per se. You know she's cast something.
Yeah, Sam doesn't know either. So he's just going to run up and, I'm helping! I'm going to hit it.
Yeah,
Go for it.
perfect.
Oh.
Ooh, are you?
That, again, Vincent. Ryan, why did you give me this? So that will be a 9.
No, it doesn't hurt, no. He sees you coming up and as you're sort of smacks on, he brings the shield up and there's a clash of sword on sort of chitin, almost like an echoing bell hollowing out as it sort of echoes around. He sort of snarls at you. What would you like to do?
That's it.
That's it.
Wow.
Perfect. Theren. You see this lizard man again with that yellow bandana snarling at you. He's bringing his club up to attack.
I'm gonna run in and slash at him, and as I do, I call out to the party, "No survivors!"
Ooh.
And I'm gonna hit him with Bear Claw.
Make an
Finally,
attack.
Let's go.
Make an attack.
Hey.
Still using the old dice, which is brave.
14.
14 doesn't hit. No, the sword comes crashing down. And with the weapon, it's actually the lightness of it takes you by surprise. Even a regular sword, this thing is beautifully empowered now. You're not quite expecting it, so you go to hit, and again he brings the shield up. There's a clash as he hits the blow away. You're locked in combat, but you don't quite get the impact.
Okay, and as my bonus action, as we're locked in combat, I want to be like this far away from his face
Yeah.
and go, "I am the sword of gods. You're just a reptile that's about to die." And use Baleful Curse on him.
Okay.
So I will now crit on a 19 and a 20, and I do extra 2 damage.
Perfect. So you launch the hex
And there's
again.
something else. But I don't know what it is.
Your-
Oh yeah,
your-
when he dies I get health.
Yeah.
I will put a ring on him.
So your focus,
Imagine.
it's more than just an empty threat. And actually the rest of the party will notice this as he brings his attention and he starts to snarl. The language, more forceful than you're used to Theren. You can see the sword almost glow. There's an energy to him as the sort of shadows in the trees, the sort of dappled sunlight. You can see the light around this lizard man just seems to sort of change. The shadow sticking to him slightly. He's sort of just darker than he should be. The light warped around him as he sort of is snarling, fighting in combat. So that's your action, bonus action. Do you want to stay there?
Yes, I've got him engaged.
Perfect.
I'm going to stay put.
Great. This guy's fairly well armoured, so I can't believe you're using that dice still.
Because my mum got it for me for my birthday.
Yeah. So Saris, she is going to sort of now, "Be careful of the one at the back, it might try and run." And she's gonna just move up to the one Blue's fighting, and you can see without any pretense of like grabbing any weapon, she just goes in and starts to slash with her claws. So that is a D20 plus 5. She gets to make an attack.
That's an actual one.
That's
Oh my
The
god!
claws dig in and dig into the sort of scales of the creature, but they just just leave a small scratch as it looks around snarling. It's just, yeah. She goes to make a second attack with her bonus action.
Come on.
Offhand attack.
That 9 plus 14.
14 doesn't hit again. This thing then this time brings the shield round. You can see the shield actually large as he brings himself down, almost Greek-like in his fighting style. Very little target area around him as he just sort of has to adjust his shield against your going into a defensive position, knowing that his allies at some point will be coming behind him. In fact, now the sort of limping lizard is going to move 30 feet forward. This one, yeah.
Which way?
Forward.
Towards you.
To the east.
Okay, perfect. He, seeing the targets, what would he do? Probably, again, Theren is the one engaged with his friend. He's going to pick up a javelin from his just from his back and hurl it at you.
Cool.
Doesn't seem to want to move as quickly as the others. Only an 8 to hit. No. So it doesn't. You just sort of deftly duck under it as the javelin over your shoulder thunks into a tree behind you. It is now Vincent. Vincent, hidden from his position, is going to sort of back away slightly, aim, waiting for the Lizardfolk by Theren to take a swing and just take a shot with his bow. So that's a short shot for Vincent.
Oh. 4 plus 6, 10.
10. You can see the arrow whistle out from cover. You weren't entirely sure where he is at the time, but it just clatters again against his shield as he's getting low and defensive. You can see him just go,
Stop rolling, guys.
Bugger, keep them engaged. We've got them. Only now I've got them. As he sort of brings another, and he's actually going to retreat slightly to the other tree.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, he's going to put some distance
Oh.
between you.
I've got it. Right behind you.
Does he use his bonus action to hide?
He will. Yes, good man, mate. Make a stealth check for him.
I rolled a 9 plus 8, 17.
17 stealth. Okay, he's
I play a rogue occasionally.
I might know this.
from time to time. Dresda, towards the back, you can see just off camera. She's going to move up a little bit, just to sort of beside Aubrey, and she's going to sort of look at you, and go, and sort of summons up some energy as she the words are lost in her, but she sort of brings up a sort of flaming bolt that she shoots out towards the one engaged with Theren.
Nice.
So that is D20 and again plus 5.
Oh god, no. 9.
9. No, the flaming bolt actually connects with the Lizardfolk, but because there's no sort of skin, just ripples off and doesn't seem to do any lasting damage. As she again is going to just sort of hide behind Aubrey almost. And he's now Aubrey, you'll go. Last to react, just sort of almost in a daze, and now you sort of click in, you realise suddenly just feeling more like yourself again, what's sort of happening around you. Which I think
Kick some ass.
I'm thinking, oh man, I hadn't thought about this at all. Okay, I am feeling everything, and suddenly everything's just clicking. I just go into the biggest rage I've ever felt in my entire life.
Yeah.
So yeah, rage is my bonus action.
Murder rage.
I need to check Storm's aura. Sorry, have you? Is it? Isn't it?
Yep. That's
Sorry.
Volo. Yep.
I just need to check what the range of Storm's aura
I
is.
think it's 30 feet, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I thought it was
It's
5.
fine.
Yeah, I thought it was 5 feet for some stupid reason, which.
Is it?
Bards have to remember 1,000 spells. Well, very.
I feel like that's
What?
a personal attack.
No, I'm joking.
Choose one of the creatures you can see in your aura. It's 10 feet from me.
Okay.
So
Perfect. So you could move slightly forward to catch one of them in your aura
Yeah.
when you.
So I'll do that. I will go to the one next to Theren.
Okay,
So-
yeah, you make your way through Aubrey.
Yeah.
It's sort of building up a rage of steam again. This time, the crackles of electricity hitting the floor and arcing. She seems to just be filled with lightning. You haven't quite seen it this vivid before as it starts jutting off everywhere.
Yeah. So I'd like it to make a dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
15.
Oh, so that's half
Yeah,
damage.
sorry, again, it just clips the side of the shield.
It's one damage.
One damage, but
That
the first
sounds
damage
so
just sort of frazzles the side of his arm as he sort of like is bewildered by what's happening here.
And then I go up to it and I just go, oh, I don't know, I say something ridiculous. I
Aubrey's back.
I just scream in its face and I reckless attack it.
Reckless attack with advantage. Go for it. It's good to know.
Ooh. That is a 14. So
14
no.
to hit.
No.
Oh, again, you'd had one more strength.
I
No,
know.
it doesn't hit. Swing. Just a massive swing.
No,
It definitely
no.
ducks under and just clips the top of his shield as he's sort of snarling, but he seems to be in this defensive position. Very difficult to hit.
Yeah.
Is that your go?
And that's my go. Yep.
Perfect. Okay, the lizard sort of engaged with everybody now, is sort of snarling and sort of looking around. He is going to make an attack at each. Oh, he knows that Aubrey is. Because he
At
gets
one point,
advantage against you.
he's
When
got
he
it.
knows you, he's got advantage against you. He's going to close the gap, so he's sort of is adjacent to both of you.
Yep.
He's going to make attack against each of you.
Fine.
So Theren, pink on the dice. That is going to be an 11 to hit Theren. Natural 1 to hit Aubrey. He's actually so set in his defensive mechanism. He just, every time he goes to make a swing, somebody else jabs at him. Either Theren is coming over the top, or Aubrey's making a look to swing, or there's a missile coming from behind.
Mhm.
He's definitely just basically holding him in a defensive position as long as he can. The one by Blue and Sarah, I should say. I'm going to write this on my...
Saris.
Saras.
It's gonna help.
The problem I do, right, is I've got so many sheets, I put it on the wrong one, and it's like behind everything else. I'm just writing on every bloody sheet I've got now. He is going to make one attack against each of you. With his club, he's going to actually swing his club towards Saras, and he's going to move his shield to bash against you, Blue. So Blue, you are yellow in this case.
Come on.
That is an 11 to hit you, Blue. And a 13 to hit Saras. He doesn't make... Hang on. No, it doesn't make contact with either of you. So, again, they're set in their defensive positions, holding the line for as long as they can. It is Odie's go. Odie again is going to try and make another attack against one fighting Blue.
That is marked.
Guy is marked.
That is a 13 plus
That's-
8, so
that'll do it.
21.
21's hit, yeah, hits easily. Odie, actually,
He's doing
with
alright.
his defensive guard towards the two of them in melee range, she just has a clear target on the side, just hit him and goes straight under his elbow on the shield arm, just to try and lower his hit.
Oh, that's so 8 plus 2, so 10 piercing damage. That's with Hunter's Mark on it.
Yeah. Hang on, what did you roll?
So I rolled a 4 and a 2.
6. So
Is it-
10. Yeah,
10. Sorry. Yeah, it's because I was saying Hunter's Mark on top.
That's fine. The arrow connects, his shield arm drops, he's like wheezing and sort of snarls to his ally, desperately injured, but still somehow up. You can see him almost lose consciousness, the blood now spraying onto the floor, desperately injured. But
Just kill me.
it doesn't go down. Bowman, from his position, now seeing Odie, is going to try and take a couple of shots at her.
And miss.
So
Please miss.
that is a 17 to
Does
hit.
hit. Yeah, does hit Odie.
Yep, and actually, she have some cover. She's got some cover
Yeah,
behind the tree, so she probably has +2 to AC.
Oh, even better. she
Doesn't
doesn't
hit.
No,
Yeah.
two shots don't hit. They just thunk into the tree. This lizard sort of snarling, and actually sort of looking at the situation. Natural 20. He knows already. He's going to back up 30 feet and start moving towards the magician. Yeah.
Whoa.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Let's narrow that gap.
Yeah. There we go. He starts gesticulating wildly to the magician. He's sort of looking up and snarling. I've just got it down here as Lizard Wizard. Sort of looking up and sort of snarls. This time you see him sort of bring up some flaming energy that sort of spins around the ring and up his arm, twirling as sort of he spins in a circle. 3 orbs, but again, this time flames jut out and shoot towards the party. One hitting Theren, Aubrey, and Drazda on the front line. So Saras on the front line, for Christ's sake. So Theren, to hit you, is it 19 to hit?
Yes.
That does hit you. To hit Aubrey with advantage is 23 to hit.
That does hit.
And to hit Saras is 23. So all of them hit. Scorching, I didn't look this up. Has anyone got a player's handbook? Should we just look up Scorching Ray? I think it's 2d6, but I'm not sure.
Tell him it's 1.
1d6. I just found it.
1d2. Scorching Ray.
You found a d4, you cut it in half, and you do that one.
Scorching.
Can't trust these guys, can I?
Scorching Ray, on a hit, Tiger takes 2d6 fire damage.
2d6 fire damage. So, Theren, you get 11 points of fire damage. Just the flames you completely catches you off guard. Aubrey only takes 4 points, and Saras will take 7. Okay, so the flames just jutting up through the trees, smashing into all of you. Just you're unexpecting this sort of barrage of spells from the distance. Takes you all by surprise. He sort of will move towards the other lizard.
That one, yeah.
Yeah, so Nenetic to his friend at the back, and will sort of make noises and sort of be. Will sort of looks like he's going to start retreating with him. You get the impression. Blue. Yup. You'll go.
Can I just make some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 to there.
That'll be 60 foot.
Yeah. Can I get...
Well, you know.
this guy's in the way. Can I squeeze past Saras?
You can. Yeah, you can sort of move through allied space. Yes, you can sort of rotate around him.
5, I know this will get. 5, 15,
Yeah.
20,
Yeah.
30 or 25?
Right, so a
Good
few things are
luck.
happening.
Yeah.
As you move away from the Lizardfolk who's attacking you, he's going to take a swing, attack of opportunity against you. Boop. 23 to hit.
That hits.
That does hit. With the club coming crashing down, does 6 points of damage.
Okay.
The way that you just moved as well, the second one is going to take a swing at you coming past him as well, because the way you moved past him, just sort of pointing it out.
Didn't I?
Yeah, you're within 5 feet of him, and then
If you go through this square.
that square is
I
sort of
didn't-
threatened territory of him.
Didn't I go through that square?
I don't remember.
Diagonal.
Okay, you can try to make an athletics check because you're trying to get across the river.
Okay. Oh, I'm here. 17.
17. Okay, you do. I'll let you do it. Yeah, so you can get to there.
Okay, and then as my action, get out the hurdy-gurdy and I play it, but there's kind of like a flute overtone.
Ooh.
And I cast Levitate 60 foot
What?
to red guy.
Okay, so I think that's a saving throw of some kind, isn't it? What have I got to do?
You have got to do...
Oh my god.
so, un momento... target... come on, where is it?
It's a willing creature. Unwilling.
Yeah, it's definitely willing. It wants to fly.
I don't think he does, unfortunately. He's kind of
Constitution saving throw.
a Constitution saving throw. Okay.
I like both feet on the ground.
Is it?
Natural 20.
Oh!
I'm so sorry.
He's got effort.
He isn't gonna. Yeah, he's gonna get
Fine.
that one. Unfortunately, the magic starts playing from hurdy-gurdy, and again, the noise is strange now. It's a mix of the hurdy-gurdy sort of like the constant noise, but also the flute just distantly through the trees, almost sort of layering the music. You see the wizard pick himself up, like slowly starts to levitate, and with a crack of energy, you see from the arcane focus, he seems to sort of crack out of it and hit the floor.
Cock. Okay, that's me.
Yeah. Okay. I'm so tired.
Would have been good.
You've
That
had
would've
such a
been
rotten
amazing.
lush of luck with
It's a great
these
idea.
Yeah,
spells,
that's a great
yeah.
idea, yeah.
You had a +1 to that save and
Oh,
everything. I know. I'm
balls.
so sorry. Theren.
I'm going to stab this prick in the face.
I think that's a fair course of action. Make an attack.
Oh
No,
no.
you're not.
No, 12.
12. No, this time again the sword clashing. You've just got this defensive battle coming between. You can't make any ground on him, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, yeah, so bonus action, movement,
I'm going to stay put.
stay put. Okie dokie. Right.
Everyone else.
Saras is sort of looking at going, we can't let them escape. We need to run after them. Sort of looks around. Sort of looks to you, Aubrey. Oh no, she's not going to leave the sister. No, she's going to make an attack against that Lizardfolk, looking pretty dead.
Nice. No, sorry, 6.
Oh my god.
6 to hit with a +5.
Okay, so that's 11.
No, she'll have to use a bonus action to attack. Yeah, make another attack.
Come on.
Oh my god, that's the same.
I'm just. What is wrong with your roll? This is
I have
fantastic.
no idea.
Last session on Monday we had great rolls and now it's all shite.
I can only do one or the other.
Yeah,
I can't do
do
middle of
the
the
other.
ground.
She's stuck where she is. She's going to have to just go for it, seeing that this creature is taking a attack. Yes, so she's going to move 30 feet. So, can you make roll a d20, add. For her it'll just be 0, just a straight d20 roll.
14.
14. She just about manages to clear the water in a big sprinting jump, and then we'll move another sort of to basically to the water's edge.
Here, right?
In this towards the creatures. She's going to start sprinting
Here?
after them.
Yeah.
A bit further. She can get another 5 feet forward. There we go. Perfect.
Does that Lizardfolk get an attack of opportunity? on
He's
her?
already had his attack.
Oh, he's had it. Even better. Sweet.
Blue.
Yay! Healthy!
Okay. The creature sort of running sees the cat sort of run past him and sort of snarls, but is after the dragonborn in front of him. He's going to advance, and again with the shield sort of bashing down on you. An 18 to hit.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You can take 6 points of damage, bludgeoning damage.
Yep.
Thwack, it hits into your chest. And this time you almost stumble back and you look up and a pair of teeth are coming down at you as he tries to make a bite attack against you. Only 14 to hit this time.
14 is my armor class, so it hits.
It hits, unfortunately. And 5 damage.
Okay.
The bite sort of crunches into you. It's assault of talons and teeth and the shield bashing against you. You're just trying to hold yourself up. Vincent.
Hello.
Vincent probably spots the fact that you're in the most danger, so he's going to go sort of round into the tree, 2 away from the sort of, next one across.
What?
Yeah, that one,
Oh, okay.
perfect. He's going to peer out the tree, he's going to take a sneak attack shot at the one next to
Come
Blue.
on.
So make a short bow attack.
12.
12, and he can't get a good shot. He keeps trying to go for the critical areas and keeps just glancing off this chitin. Chitin is sort of armour. He's going to snarl and sees a new target, but he's sort of intently staring down Blue at this point.
What can my flute do?
Okie dokie. So that is now.
I'm guessing it's the.
Dresda.
Yeah.
What's she do? She sort of sees this lizard now.
She is
limping.
open.
Yeah,
Coming
come on.
towards
She's
her.
got
It
this.
sort of looks. And shoots some more flames out in desperation. So that's a d20 with +5.
Oh, come on. Yes!
19.
There we go.
19. That's a roll of d10 for me.
Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. Oh.
1.
That's,
1.
Wait, is that a D10? That's a D10.
No, sorry, that's a D8. Oh, I'm so sorry, I rolled the wrong one.
Oh, roll again.
That's
4.
4.
4 points of damage. A firebolt leaps up from her hands and strikes him across the face. You see him just advancing on her. As the flames just take him over and he drops her onto the ground next to her, dead. You see her just sort of trembling and just sort of looking again through what she can do, sort of looking up and scanning the environment.
Oh, bless her.
Aubrey.
That's so sweet. Sorry. I will go.
Back to Aubrey.
I will reckless attack the one in front of us again.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Good, because that is a 16 plus 5, so 21.
21 to hit, and that hits.
Bringing it back. Alright. That's a 12 plus 3 plus 2 bonus. That is 16.
16. This time.
Yeah,
So which is that one? This is.
It's the one with the vowel on it.
the one that's going to heal me when he dies. Picture's going to be very
So
welcome.
the lizard folk just snarling and smiling, just takes deflection after deflection, parrying shield. He just sort of looks up to take the next one from Aubrey, and there's just a moment of surprise in his face as the axe just travels past his shield and whack! The axe just buries itself in his side, rips out. You just a couple more inches, and you would have almost severed his entire torso. But he just stumbles back. This horrific injury, spurting from as he brings his shield up and just tries to hold on.
And then bonus Storm's Aura.
Storm's alright.
Yes.
So that's a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah, it is, but I'll roll that again for damage. 13.
10.
Excellent, I'll roll this again then. That's a 6.
Yes! 6. And in his last breaths, as he just, this impact thumps into him, as he sort of brings the shield, and just the arc of electricity hits the shield and goes up his arm, and you see his whole torso spasm, ripping the wound open further as he drops to the ground, just sort of, and he's totally dead. So you can take him out. So, yeah.
Sorry, I thought you were going
He
to...
is now dead.
Yeah, so I now gain my Warlock level plus my Charisma modifier, so I would go from 15 to 19 health.
So you get full health.
Yes.
Perfect. You see the shadows with the blood leaking out of this creature, just sort of trailing across the floor and up Theren's legs and through the sword. You can see just this glow as his wounds start to sort of slowly knit themselves back together.
And
He's ready for his next
I quickly
target.
turn to Theren and I go, he was right, I do feel better.
Oh, I feel so good right now.
Excellent.
Perfect.
And then I will move my 30 feet. I'll go to the one next to Blue.
Okay, you charge into the next combat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Make an athletics check. It's only a 5-foot gap, but
Well,
it's heated battle. It's swampy territory.
that's a 14. What was it? Acrobatics.
Easy.
Okay.
Easy. Yeah, you do it. Athletics would have been, but
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, 20. Yeah. 19. Right.
great.
Great.
Odie, seeing the trouble, is saying, who should I go for? She will move the. Let's make an intelligence. Roll an intelligence check.
Straight.
Odie.
Oh, that's going to be a straight roll. That's a 17 though. Straight.
She's
17.
clever enough. She sort of
Wow.
looks up. The bonus action is going to move the hunter's mark to the lizard wizard, the red one.
Lizard
Yeah.
wizard.
Good.
Space Marine. She's going to move 30 feet towards, or as close as she can get without crossing the river,
For
So yeah.
towards the.
Yeah. Keep
towards
going
the
up.
river.
yeah.
Perfect. And she is going to make a longbow attack against the lizard wizard.
Lizard wizard. Let's go. That is an 11 plus 8, so 19.
19.
Ooh.
Yep, that hits. The arrow just funks into this lizard. You can see him sort of think about, but just sort of scrapes past him in surprise as now the fire seems to have come past their advancing forces. It is now
And then-
on them.
So
So
it's
you
a
have roll for damage.
1d8 plus the hunter's mark. So it's a 5 plus 4, it's 9 plus 5 is 14.
Nice.
14 points of damage. Wow. There you go, Odie. Just the longbow arrow just clipping the wizard in the leg. Just, he rips it out. But again, this bad wind as she immediately just spins with the second arrow and takes a second shot against the lizard
Horde
to
breaker.
his side. So
That's a 10 plus 18.
18 this hits as well. So just longbow damage.
Yeah, 1d8. That's 8 plus 4, so that's 12.
12 points of damage.
Nice.
It's nice being Team Tank over here.
Yeah.
She just launches the arrows like, die, you cretins, die! And just firing these arrows as they all start finding her mark.
good fun.
The trained aim through the trees, even with the slight cover they give, she just finds her mark every time. You can see them now injured, reassessing their situation. They're just going to dash.
Oh
So,
no.
what are they going to do? Ooh.
Come on, Vincent.
Yeah, they would just dash. They're
We'll leave them
intelligent
up
enough. So they are going to move 60 feet back. So we won't move them because it's just sort of out. But these people are 60 feet away now as they turn and flee. Both the bowman and the wizard taking some decent damage. They also split slightly. So they're not 5 feet together. They take a slightly different route. Blue. You can see this lizard face just on top of you, the shield, the damage to your neck from the bite, it just is waving your long sword, trying to keep him at bay.
We've got to keep moving forward, so I'm gonna take a swipe at him.
Come on.
Get him out of the way. Oh, for fuck's
Sake.
yeah. 9.
9 doesn't hit. No, again, you're off balance. You can't quite get the connection under the guard, and the thing deflects your blow.
Okay, and I'm gonna give inspiration to Vincent.
What do you say?
Oh, Vinny, you're so fine and brother man. Hey, Vinny.
Yes.
I'm not just
My
giving.
goodness, I do blow. Yes, fantastic.
Not just giving him inspiration because I'm playing as him. I do.
Okie dokie.
Super.
Right, now it is Theren, stood over the corpse of this dead lizard folk. You can see the bandana already staining red with the various blood injuries over it.
They've run 60.
Yeah. So, I don't know, how far are they now?
Pretty far.
They're 60 feet away from me now.
Yeah.
Another 60 feet will put them just at the edge of my range for Eldritch Blast while still being in it.
Yeah, so if you move forward slightly, you get the range.
Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run, jump across and skirt around to this side so I'm still in this guy's melee range.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use Eldritch Blast.
Because it's your first time using it, just as a clarification, because it's a ranged spell attack. If you're in melee with anybody, then it's disadvantage on the attack roll because the combat puts you off. So if you want to make it just a regular shot, you don't want to be in melee range of him.
Then I am going to move myself.
Okay, so that's an athletics check just to see how far you get across.
Better.
That is 17.
Yeah, you easily make it across the river in the heat of combat. The sort of sludginess of the bank, you almost sort of get your foot stuck, but with a big concerted effort, you leap over.
Great, and I have no idea what I'm actually doing because I don't know I can do this. So Theren is just going to run and kind of talking to Vinny more than anything, point his sword and go, kill it!
Yeah. And there's a sort of surge of power there's a sort of recognition of like, that's what we're going to get. And you just feel this energy, like a sort of divine energy, but different. This is sort of from within you, from just a sort of natural, just a feeling. It feels right as you swing, and just an arc of this sort of, it's weird, it's no colour, it's sort of like moving shadow, a black, purpley, dark green nebulous, twisting, it's almost like twisting flames and light, but not, it's an absence of colour. Just this sort of energy, just almost not in quite a straight line, just arcing, but never leaving its trajectory as it hits through the trees. Make an attack roll.
Come on.
Who are you attacking? Sorry, the bowman or the wizard? Wizard. Yeah.
It came from the moon.
17.
Okay. 17. Energy crackling through the trees. The last moment, the wizard sort of sees it coming, and with a sort of just sort of still flinching his injury, this sort of force field sort of erupts around him as the energy just smashes into it. This huge of energy just blasting through the tree. Several leaves and branches catch fire all around. As it's just this impressive burst of energy. It takes you by surprise, as it would have hit, and there's a moment where you go, wow, that would, whoa. As just this energy hits past the wizard. I couldn't do it on Odie's attack because it was just so good, but just can stop it. But yeah, so not quite, but he's whittling through his spell slots. He has not got much left.
Excellent.
He's pretty. What would he have? Yeah, he's pretty peeped out now.
Sorry, and I'm going to use the rest of my movement to keep going.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, Saras is going to. So with a leap, make just a D20 plus 5.
20, unnaturally.
20. So she's going to move 30 feet across, just jumping, and all this is sort of running on all fours now as her claws dig into the ground. She just sort of comes forward. She is going to use her action to dash, to move another 30 feet. So
She's
how many feet did she use to get to that?
That was 30 to get to there because she was there.
So she's 15 feet to get to the edge of the board, so she'll move 15 towards them.
Yep.
And then she's going to use a key point. She's going to burn through a key point, and she's going to step at the wind.
Yes.
and she's going to close the gap to 15 feet as she just is running at full speed, almost like using the branches and the water just to sort of almost just run. She's just climbing on everything and making impressive ground as she runs up. So the lizard, knowing that he's sort of pretty surrounded right now, he's going to take the disengage action and he is going to just jump in the river and start swimming down it 30 feet away, so just down the line towards where everybody's running, 30 feet.
Like
Yeah,
how you
as
turn
he just
him
starts,
round.
he almost becomes like a sort of, he not quite drops the shield, but stows it on his back, and there's almost like a sort of snake serpent movement as he goes down through the water. So it is now Vincent's go. Vincent sort of seeing
Come on.
them. Okay, well, I think we should probably try and stop them. And good work. Then he's going to move himself up. What's the range on his short bow?
Short bow. Yeah,
Odie, sorry.
Yeah.
Odie.
Yeah, what's his short
No,
bow
what's
range?
short bow?
You haven't got short bow.
Or did I
yet,
not?
but
Is it 120 or is it?
we
9?
talked this through last time.
Wow, I know. I'm
Shall I
sorry.
just quickly
I
do
never
that?
have a player's handbook with me because.
You're not a player.
Short.
No.
It should be one. I brought down.
Hang on.
Somebody else has it for now.
Okay. Short bow. Googling. What will win? Internet.
Short bow. 80. So range 80, 320.
Okay, so he's got a few shots. So he's going to sort of move to the bank, prepare himself. So with an arcing shot, that's going to take a shot at the wizard. So with disadvantage, he's going to take a shot,
But with inspiration.
but with inspiration.
Yeah.
If you want to use it, because he might not.
I don't think he does.
So what's the attack?
Wait, because I did a 17 and you'll be able to block that.
I might as well use it. Might as well
Okay.
use it.
18.
18. It just hits.
Yes!
Yeah, just hits because you got a 17. So
Mm.
yeah, it was just one off. So
So
the arrow just arcing through the trees, hits the person, hits the wizard. He's just sort of desperately just turning and running. It hits him square in the shoulders.
Oh.
Sneak attack as well, right?
No,
No.
disadvantage.
Ah,
No, unfortunately.
shit.
oh fuck.
Your one.
5.
5. Again, just the arrow sinking into the shoulders. The wizard just starts running forward, desperately trying to get away. Dresda is sort of going to sort of move to the bank. Doesn't really want to advance much forward. What would she do? She's going to just, again, clapping with fire in her hands, is going to take a shot at the Lizardfolk closest to her because he's still in range. So d20 plus 5.
17.
17.
Yeah.
Hits.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 1d10.
Get the right D10.
2 plus whatever it is.
It's just
Just
fire
2.
damage, yeah.
Perfect. It's actually the first hit on him. The flame was almost it's hit him square in the back. The water around him just sort of absorbs most of the impact. It just sort of singes his back slightly, but doesn't really get quite the effect that she was hoping for. But still, is some damage. Aubrey, what would you like to do? Raging, you see him sort of run away from you, swimming down the river.
I only have my great axe.
You probably would have picked up other bits of your items, like if you had javelins and all that sort of thing.
if you, yeah, okay.
You
Just,
would have
that's
picked
very kind of you.
you would have
I
picked up
literally just put on one
You've been
great
given
axe and that's it.
your equipment back that the party were sort of holding for you.
Oh, that's very
effectively.
kind. Alright, fine. Then, well, then in that case I will take out a javelin and throw it. I think
So
we'll
how
get...
close can you get
Well,
before
yeah,
you
sorry,
take the
that
throw?
is a good point. I will...
You've got 20 foot range before you have disadvantage on
that's
hit.
true. I thought... Sorry. Right, so I'll move up to the edge of this bank then.
Yep.
I think that's about half my movement.
Perfect.
And then I'll throw the javelin.
Okay. Make an attack. I think that's within range, is it?
Just in range.
Just.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a natural one.
Natural one.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
the javelin just sort of sinks into the water
Yeah.
where you think he should have been, but he's just moving so quick it doesn't go anywhere near him. Unfortunately, he's just gone.
Yeah.
Aiming where he was, not where he's going to be, and all that.
Yeah.
You doing anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay. Not even the storm door. It's too far.
It's too far away.
Too
Yeah.
far away. Okie dokie.
Can you move further?
I could move further. Yeah,
Might as well.
I'll jump the bank.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got like another 10 feet of movement, I
Okay.
think, so
Yep.
I'll
Make
do...
a check.
Yeah. Was it athletics?
Athletics. Yep.
That's a 12.
Remember, you have advantage on strength checks while
I
you're
do!
raging.
Oh, good, because that's still a 12.
12 is enough. 12 is enough. You leap the 5 feet. That's easy enough.
Fine, that's it. That's
I'm looking for lower than 10 really before.
Oh, sorry.
I know.
Before I drown.
Back to the top, and Odie. Odie is going to. The water in front of her is pretty thick. She's going to attempt to jump across the small river to her left. Yep. So that's an athletics check.
Straight
for Odie.
athletics.
Come
Oh.
on.
That is a 12.
Yeah, she just about makes it. She moves to the next bank
Oh.
and is going to take a shot at
You can see this
the
way.
bowman. Yeah, because she's. Oh, no,
No,
the wizard, because
wizards
that's
could
the
do
target.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so longbow. That is a 18.
18 just hits.
Oh! Okay, and
Take it down.
6 as well. That is a 5 plus 6, 100 smarts, so 11.
11 damage. Yeah, it's enough.
Oh, yes!
Arrow sailing through the air, this time catching him in the lower back. You see him just sort of try and hobble, sinks to his knees, keeps moving. Just probably a second strike hits him on the back, and he just sort of goes down on the floor. The
Fabulous.
bowman at this point, just sort of seeing this all, seeing Rizza sort of rise, sort of come towards her, and just sort of is running. He's going to sprint. So he's now 120 feet away, so 75 from the monk.
Can Odie move her her 100 smart?
With bonus action, yeah.
So I assume
Yeah.
that one, yeah.
She could have done, yeah. So he's now 120 feet away, plus whatever you see on the map. Blue.
Okay, I'm going to run up next to Aubrey.
Athletics check.
Jumping across.
Oh, that's a
Natural
20!
Yeah, you can easily make it.
Again, getting out the hurdy-gurdy, playing a song, just nudging into Aubrey. Fly, angry girl. Fly!
God.
I'm going to cast fly.
Okay.
Oh
So, what does that do?
This is awful.
Why is this awful? This is amazing! This is amazing!
So, describe what happens.
So you feel, much like in Peter Pan, a well of happiness within you that grants you happiness with a flying ability whenever you think of happy thoughts. And it will grant you 60-foot flying speed.
Oh my god, okay.
Wow. Fair
So
play.
you begin to feel a lot lighter. Both
Probably not happier, just angrier. Angry thoughts.
anger, happiness, they kind of go together with Aubrey, I kind of feel, so yeah.
Oh my god, okay.
Perfect.
Brilliant.
And
Okay.
then, yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's probably me. Done.
Perfect. That's awesome. So yeah, Aubrey.
Very similar names.
She's sort of just, as she's sort of running towards, just loses traction at the ground. The feet almost sort of pantomime style running. There's a bit of confusion in her fury as she just realises with this force, and just instinctually you sort of
It's a terrible Superman.
forward.
60-foot though.
I know, that's
We're
incredible.
going to get these jokes.
Theren.
Okay, so I think I have the movement to make it across here and in melee range of this guy.
Yeah, let's check.
So,
Athletics
yeah,
check.
I'm going to go across here and there.
Waiting for someone to fail one.
It is not the stair.
14.
14, you make it, yeah.
Yes! Right, okay, so I'm within melee range of this guy,
Yeah.
and as he's swimming, I'm going to sort of jump on him and stab him
Oh
through
my
the
god.
Okay, great. So are you jumping in the water to do it, or are you sort of on the bank and...
I think you did say you jump on his back, so...
You can try and grapple him if you want.
back. What's grapple? Is that a straight
Grapple is
strength?
it's basically a melee attack, but with your strength, yeah.
I'm better at hitting him, so I'm going to do that.
Okay, great. So you just take a strike with a bear claw,
Yeah.
bring it down on him, yeah.
And if you say bear claw, I feel hungry for that
I know.
American treat.
Pastry. Oh.
10.
No, this again, you... The carp, he's just out of reach, he sort of lurches to his left as he's swimming, desperately trying to get away. Man, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Those are the breaks. Saras. 75 feet away. Yeah, she's just going to have to step of the wind again. So she's
Oh.
I can't wait to see. her just like,
Second
damn.
point, she actually this time makes it within range of the bowman, sort of jumps over him and round him, blocking off his escape as he sort of instinctually reaches for like a big knife on his belt and sort of comes towards her, but she basically spends her turn getting within range of him. The swimming lizard is just going to keep dashing and going. He will take an attack of opportunity. He wants to get away at this point, so go on, Theren.
Hey.
23.
23 hits.
Okay, 1d8 plus 5. 10.
1d
8.
8
plus
plus
6.
Oh, is it plus...
3, 2, and 1.
What's the 1?
Beckler.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah. So it's okay. So sorry, I've got my damage written
This is
down wrong.
why
Then.
you should have used the printer cheat.
Well, no, because that's also down wrong. So I'm 1d8 plus 4 and then plus 2 for my dueling.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so that will be
11.
11 then.
11 points of damage. This time,
Yeah.
you get a decent swing. Most of his tail just gets cleaved off and it starts to impact the way that he's sort of swimming. He still gets away. He's going to move 60 feet away, so however many to the edge of the board. 30 feet, so he's 30 feet away now. Great. Perfect.
Excellent.
Vincent is going to try and jump across, so athletics from Vincent.
Okay,
Tries to put himself over.
athletics. Ooh, he's not very athletic, is he? 11.
Still makes
Just
it.
manages
Goodness.
it though, bloody hell.
Yeah, Christ.
You
You
almost
do it.
water.
As I say, like 5-foot jump shouldn't normally be like something you'd have to athletics for, but it's the boggy ground.
Yeah.
It's very
The heat
wet
of
around
combat.
it.
Yeah.
Hard to get purchased.
So he's going to move up to his 30 feet forward,
Oh, yeah, sorry, I gave up.
Which-
2, 3,
Yep.
4, 5, 6.
and he's going to take a shot at the closer one because
Yep.
he's within range.
Oh my goodness.
That is 12.
12 doesn't hit. No, again, he just. God damn it! I can't hit a bloody thing! What is this? You mark off some arrows for him as well.
Yeah, he's lost about 4.
Okay, perfect. He cannot hit a thing.
No. I got one guy.
Joe's listed there. She's just going to again fling another firebolt forward. She doesn't want
Nice.
to come any closer.
What's the range on Fireball?
It's like 120 feet.
Natural
Oh,
20.
Yes!
That's 2d10.
Go.
This time, firebolt. She corrects the aim and shoots it above the creature's head. He dutifully swims into it, catching him on the back of the head.
9.
9 plus 8.
17.
Yeah.
This time, it's enough. The blast
Hey.
blows him under the water, and he just doesn't emerge. He sort of eventually, you can see his body sort of emerges, floats to the top. 10 seconds later, bumping into the bank, just limp. He is gone.
Nice.
Right, one left.
Aubrey.
Take him down.
So, how far away is he? This is the only thing, like,
So he was 120 feet
off the map. Okay. So I'm guessing if I use dash, that would double his feet. So that's 120. Yeah, actually that's a good point. I'll just 120 flying straight to
Dash.
him.
You see Aubrey just start to pick up speed, the axe in hand. It actually, the effort of the flying and the concentration it requires, you kind of lose focus on your rage for a second, and you haven't made an attack, so
Yep, that's
no
fine.
one's fired at you, so you lose
Oh,
your rage, but
brilliant.
you are now flying towards this creature. So how many feet towards the edge of the board?
Oh, sorry.
Was-
I was next to blue.
Yeah.
So
It's about
Nice.
40, 50 feet to the edge of
Into
the
the
board.
So you're 70, so you're now 50 away.
Empty
You're
way.
catching quickly.
Yep.
Um,
yeah, I can't. That's my
eventually I
action to
love
dash
this.
it.
Odie, so yeah, Odie's going to take a shot.
Yep.
Go
And
on,
with
Odie.
javelin.
That's a natural 1.
No, actually, it doesn't this time. Odie sort of gets distracted by all the fire. Doesn't even loose the arrow. Just sort of goes, oh my! Can she do that now? Oh my goodness!
Thank God we brought her back.
Vinny, have you seen this? Just sort of in the middle of combat, just completely loses concentration. Bowman engaged now.
Would she try and move?
No, she's totally distracted by
Yeah.
this point.
That natural
Aubrey.
1 does it?
Totally distracted. The bowman is just going to, at this point,
So within range.
yeah,
obviously.
She was
desperately
serious.
try and claw at Saras. So he is going to attack with his dagger. Hits. Misses. So 1 hits. That is 5 more damage to Saras. She takes another hefty cut to her leg as she's sort of swiping now at him. It now goes to Blue.
Cast fly on anyone else?
So, apart from being so happy with what he's just witnessed,
Aubrey just... and you kind of just keep playing and it happens. There's nothing magical happening. You're just like getting entranced by what's going on.
I do not want to get hit by anything, otherwise you might just drop like a stone. So I'm just gonna go back and check on. No,
Just
I'm
stay
just
next
gonna.
to me.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
Just admire the view.
Yeah, that'll do. I'm not gonna mess around.
Take the dodge action, maybe?
Yeah, dodge action.
Perfect. You just sort of get down and...
I mean, I don't even think that guy's in range of you, is he?
No, but yeah.
It's something just in case something appears. I guess.
Yeah, you never know.
Would dropping in the water make me lose concentration?
Only if you take damage.
Unless you're going to drown.
Yeah.
Would you like to try?
Yeah, there's no harm in it. I'm just. No.
No.
Let's not mess
Do
around.
what you-
No,
do
that's
what you're
good,
going
that's
to
good,
do.
that's
Do
good.
what you're
Amazing
going
what
to do.
Condia just for saying, would you like to?
The paranoia he creates.
Okay.
Okay. So you make it across. That's fine. Really, you kind of just stay put.
Yeah, I'm staying put. I'm not risking.
Theren.
So this guy is how many feet off the board?
120.
120, right. So 5, 10, 20. Okay, right. So I can make it to the end of the board, and that should put me in range of Eldritch Blast.
Do it.
Right, okay. So I'm going to run, and I'm going to just channel it and swing again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Come on.
Again, the same arcing bolt of dark energy sort of erupts out of your arm as you sort of with the blade, almost sort of channels down the blade. Make an attack.
Come on. Go on.
16.
16 hits.
Yes!
Do it.
6 points of damage.
6 points of damage.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, the impact hitting the bowman, who's turned around and is slashing at Saras with his knife, hits him square in the chest. You see him, the wind go out of him, sort of swinging but hurt.
I kind of just glance back at Blue and go, this is a new thing.
This whole battle is just a sort of like a dun 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 dun.
We seem to have changed a bit.
I'm liking this.
Fantastic. Right, Saras is just this time going to go absolutely crazy. So make a melee hit. So d20 plus 5.
14.
14 hits the bowman. So it is a d4 plus 3.
Ooh.
6.
6 does it. She just rips into this thing, sort of like half anger, half fury. She just sort of jumps and pounces on the lizard, and just all fours on him. Her hands gripped around his throat. Her legs start scratching with her, like the hind legs just scratching at his torso. The nails grabbing in, and just he goes down in this barrage of scrapes, hissing,
Nice.
angry, sort of like feline damage. And you're out of initiative.
Woo!
Now, in terms of, so we've had magic, we've had shields, we've had.
It's been quite noisy. You've now got a flying barbarian.
So, out of initiative.
Okay.
All right. I want to beckon over Blue and Dresda.
Dresda.
And
Dresda.
at the same time, kind of beckon back Aubrey and Sarah so we can all meet up in the middle.
Ah!
Yeah. Saras takes a few seconds. She is just like, even when this lizard creature is down, just ripping into it, just with all her claws. She's absolutely furious.
Should we hide the bodies?
Yes, let's hide the bodies very quickly. Can you two take care of that over there?
Yep.
Right, okay.
Dresda sort of just limps, sort of can we keep them where we can bring them trophies for later?
Will heads do?
Yeah. Is that what you're doing now?
Yeah.
That's a medicine check.
Oh God.
Yes.
Yes, it's terrible.
11.
11. Well, it just gets
No
to
better.
his
No
point.
better than last
You just
time.
know not to interrupt this. But Theren, you start carrying them sort of in. It takes sort of a minute or so for Saras to sort of make her way over. Aubrey, you're just literally just still flying around. How long does fly last for?
I'm going.
It lasts 10 minutes.
Bring the Aubrey, bring the body, please. God, why is she just going around in circles?
What would Aubrey be doing? Because you are in total control of this. It is
Oh,
a
I am in
feeling
control.
of power.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think once I get the hang of it, I would bring the body back. But I sort of now sort of cool down from the fight and everything, and then sort of go back to my dazed state from before.
Yeah.
Eventually, I think just all land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just pouring everyone.
So I line up the bodies.
Yeah. Perfect.
Sorry.
Saras, I know that your people probably want trophies here, but I think we're best using your sister to burn the corpses.
We need to bring them back.
Why?
These are trophies. These will get us reputation. Yourselves, you say you want help from our village. This is evidence.
You want to go back to the village now?
No. As my sister says, we store them, bring them back. You can see she's already beginning to sort of just try and like fix some of the wounds on her.
We could just take the heads.
Alright, I wanna... I'm imagining this conversation in the background.
Again.
Every now and then, maybe just like a speck of blood hits like a branch a couple of feet away from you.
Right then, Saras, can you and Vincent hide these well enough? The two of you seem relatively stealthy. I'm sure you have some idea. Odie, you know the
Yes, quite.
the
We
area.
can give it a good go. Yes, Odie, over here, and they will attempt to.
So by my calculations,
Find them?
that should be stealth and survival.
Oh, get the jam.
Both are very good. Yeah. Actually, no. I'm making the rolls for you. You've got character sheets. So.
Yeah, you just did it. It's fine.
No.
So what do you want, stealth?
So a stealth and a survival. You can choose who does what.
Okay.
Stealth from Vinny.
Yes.
22.
22.
Survival was only 10.
10. That's enough between you. You manage to sort of store the bodies, bring some branches over. You create like a little mound by a very identifiable river section for you. You know where the layout of the geography is. But otherwise, it's quite nondescript. You think you've done a good job.
I attached the heads to my belt.
Oh
So
God.
you've gone around taking all the heads?
No, just the two, because you guys were speedy with the others.
Okay, fair enough. Well, one of the bodies is now sort of sinking into the river and is gone.
Oh, I've grabbed it.
You did?
Yes.
Perfect, that's fine. And then the others have been brought over.
It's the one I was
Yeah.
closest
You
to.
have 2 more lizard heads. They're big. I mean, you think about like our heads. The lizard folk have sort of muzzles.
You just got like a whole
faces.
belt.
We're gonna
They're
come
slightly
back here
bigger than
anyway.
human heads. They're pretty big things to
Like
carry. Heavy.
velociraptors, basically.
Very heavy. Imagine the weight of a head.
Are you trying to persuade me to...
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to try and persuade Blue to come back for the heads later.
But I'm collecting trinkets. How would we do this? Out of
It's up
interest.
to you.
I
Are you
mean,
trying to resist? Or
I
you
can.
want to-
Okay, I can
Beat to 10.
beat a 10.
Oh
All
my
right.
God.
Yeah, I beat a 10.
Okay.
14. Don't worry, we'll come back for the. Later. We'll get you some new heads, more heads. A king's.
Yeah, but
Nice. Did the wizard have anything cool on him? The wizard lizard?
I don't know.
wizard
He's here
lizards.
somewhere. Have a look at him.
Gizzards?
Uh,
Can I have a look before they dump it into
right through the bodies.
Because I like magic.
Yeah. Someone will help you. So investigation with advantage.
Oh my God.
Thank God.
Yeah.
wow, it's the same.
Same. Investigation, you said?
Yeah.
6.
6.
Just lots of robes. No heads.
Anybody else want it? I know.
No, it's.
Okay. You collect up about 60, 70 silver pieces. 70 silver pieces. A few weapons, some clubs, maybe 3 clubs, a short bow, some arrows that, again, Vincent will stock himself up on. So he's now got 20 arrows. A knife. But that's it. That's all you find.
I'll take the knife.
All right, I would suggest that we all have a short rest here.
Sounds good.
take care of any wounds that we have, and then we'll make a move on the main camp.
Aubrey, what was it like flying?
Let's not do that again.
Oh, okay.
Next time, I totally want to go.
I mean, you can still fly at this point. It is like...
I'm like literally hovering off the ground. Like a foot.
Not enjoying it?
No.
Is that why you're not actually on the ground then?
Do you want me to take it off?
Please.
The music stops. Silence.
Sorry, Aubrey. I thought it was a good moment to give you a bit of speed.
I appreciate it.
But in the future, won't happen again.
Ask first. Consent is important.
Yes, that's true. Well, certainly you seemed willing.
Believe for future reference, I do not need your consent. Consider this all consent forever.
Wow.
Well, I've got this other spell called Fog Cloud. Next time I'll just do it on you. Right?
Sounds like something very different. So, you're going to want to take a short rest?
Yeah.
Please.
Perfect. Okay. Fantastic. So we'll have a quick break. We'll have a short rest. Get ourselves together and we'll join you in a sec. Bye. Welcome back. So we had a short rest. Did people have to use many hit dice?
I used so many.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You got quite hit.
Oh, wow.
I used 2d10s and they were both a fucking 2.
Oh, what's poor. Well, yeah,
Did you add your
Saris had to
constitution
use
to
2
it?
hit dice as well.
Did you add your
She's
constitution
only,
to it?
yeah,
No, I
only
forgot to
level
have my
3 monk.
constitution.
as
Well, maybe
well,
add your
so
constitution
that's
to it.
tough.
Right, well, I'm back on full health. Fiona just reminded me that because I am the name of the table that I forgot to have my constitution, so I'm back on full health. I probably actually didn't need to use all of them then, but...
Reroll them. It's fine. Go from scratch.
Okay.
I'll let you do that. You utter
Right.
noob.
I used 2.
The party sit around. No, that's true.
We used one.
One. Sorry, I did ask, and then I completely moved on. Sarah, she used 2. Justin didn't
There you go.
get touched either. So, after some rest, an hour sort of sit down, the morning sort of passes over. You're aware that it's probably closer to noon now. It's getting sort of approaching the sort of time. Give it a couple of hours that the distraction of some kind will happen. You start to think about making your way again. So, I'd like stealth checks from everybody as you go further. Please.
Okay, 1 for Vinny, 1 for me.
So who has the lowest?
I do. 5.
5. Nice.
Aubrey gets 8.
I really shouldn't be in the
8.
stealthy part.
And Odie. Ooh, Odie. Odie is a 10.
A 10. So
Yeah.
5 is the lowest. Okay.
Vincent has 22,
Nice.
and I have a natural 20 up to 24.
Nice. The two of you just
Disappear.
It's almost like the heavy armor guy shouldn't be doing any of this.
So it comes quite apparent very quickly that Theren, if you're going to go at the front, you'll probably get hurt. Like over the time that so you can drop back a little bit if you like.
I shall elect to drop back for the good of the mission.
Perfect. So leading the line, probably Odie, Saras, second line of maybe Aubrey, Blue, Vincent, followed by Theren. Who else have we got? And Drazda. Probably in that order.
Yeah, sounds good.
Ruby.
Okie dokie. So you make your way through the swamp as it gets thicker and thicker. The ground again becoming difficult to underfoot. Your movement, Odie very ably sort of transverses you through, often going as much sideways and round to get to where you need to be. It becomes a very sort of zigzaggy way through the swamp. Your feet get stuck, branches snap, but she tries her best to get everybody to where they need to go, guided by Saras. And between you, you approach what appears to be a plume of smoke, about sort of 200 feet, 150 feet sort of ahead of you. You can see on a raised embankment in front of you some sort of bonfire that has been to some degree fortified. The ground around you now is incredibly swampy. And actually, I've got a map to show you. So, let's get the other map out. The ground in front of you now is incredibly swampy as you go further and further in. You can see not quite a river, but streams of where the ground sinks below and you're sitting water just in lines around you. The green on the map representing firmer ground raised slightly above. The only place where sort of the ground underfoot is firm enough. As you get closer towards the water, it becomes marshy and boggy and very difficult to move through. You reckon you would have some time getting through it. A couple of sparse trees on various sort of raised points. But you see, gathered round a camp, one of them staring out, a sort of lizard man sort of sat on a log. You can see just bobbing ever so slightly, a drink in hand, just sort of chugging it. There's a sort of like rumbling burp noise as he looks out, and he's sort of watching out. And three other figures by the fire. You can see one is just sort of heavily butchering something in front of that, just covered in blood. This small hand axe busily getting to work, possibly breaking some sort of bone or something going through. The second one seems to have a huge heavy shield sort of to the side of him, bigger than the others, almost like a tower shield, carved from a mixture of wood and bones and just other things that have been strapped together. And the third figure, this one covered in dirty sort of furs and skins of animals, just sort of almost like a giant rug has covered him. Various skinned animals, you can see deer and bears and other sort of just matted skins have been sort of stitched together and create a sort of like fur-like armour around him. The three of them sitting, chatting in sort of a companionable silence as this fourth one, drinking, looks out. Sarah sort of whispers back to you, "Yeah, so it looks like there's four of them. This is the outpost, so where a lot of the camp outside of the Nook will sort of will sort of go from. If we attack the central area, the Lizardfolk here will run to their aid very quickly. I would suggest we take these ones down first."
Alright, then what we need to do is have those who are quietest sneak as close as they can, so we can cut off any chance of escape.
So, what I would like to do is, where would you like to try and get to from where you are? So the ground underfoot.
I mean, I'm going to stay put.
Yeah, you can stay put. That's totally fine. The ground is very loose underfoot.
Oh.
So you believe that sort of travelling through it would be very difficult. Where would you like to point people towards? The four individuals will go where you want them to, effectively.
Okay, I would say we want to get maybe Vincent and Odie around here by the trees for cover.
I was going to say, because I assume if they're going to run away or call for help, it's going to be down that way. So maybe we should have someone around here.
Yeah, I was
instead.
going to say the Tabaxi Rogue here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Monk, but yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
I assumed because of her mad dexterity she was a rogue.
Yeah.
How wrong of me.
How dare you assume someone's class?
So point you to where you want people to go.
Okay,
Yeah.
Saris up here.
Yeah.
Okay, put her on that there. Yep.
Vincent and Odie here.
Yeah.
Okay, yep. Pop them there.
What?
And I would say we want...
So Theren, you can stay on that island any way you want, but it would kind of...
Yeah, I'm just going to keep
As
here.
long as you don't get too much
Were
closer.
you going to say the other Tabaxi to go over here as well?
No, I was going to say she stays with us.
Okay.
Okay, so Drazda with you.
Yes.
Blue, where do you want to go?
I will
Walk away from this fight.
go over here.
Go to there as well. And Aubrey.
I think I just stay where I am. as
There
well.
you are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
Um,
So, say anything before?
well, what I was going to say is,
Before we split up.
before we split up,
We shouldn't split up.
that Aubrey and I can be the main distraction. So if they just see the two of us, all three at the absolute most, four of them potentially will come and attack instead of sounding some sort of alarm, and then the flanking forces can come in.
I see. So you're going to make a distraction as much as anything else, like a sort of barrage of fire from where you are.
I
Exactly.
could do my pyrotechnics trick again. They're sitting next to a
And
fire,
explode
aren't
it, yeah.
They are. It's a big blazing bonfire.
they? Yes.
Brilliant. Yes, do that.
It'll blind
we'll,
them.
We'll use a distraction to rush up as quickly as we can.
It might be quite loud.
Yes.
If we're getting closer, I could instead create smoke that spreads out, but then we can't see them, but they can't see out either. It's a tricky one. I mean, the fireworks, they don't really create noise, but there's a bit of a boom and lights.
Right. Well, every lizard that's seen us has been killed before it could report back any sort of hostilities. Maybe if Aubrey and I approached with Drazda staying hidden behind us, we could potentially try and talk to them, make them appear as if we're after diplomacy, and use that distraction to attack.
But, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Were you alright?
Yeah. I'm very good at talking.
I know. You've encouraged us in the past.
Okay, so the advanced parties, Odie, Vincent, Saras, and Blue, all
Yeah.
need to make stealth checks to see how
Well, again-
eagerly they make their way beyond and towards. Because you're going closer and you're going round now.
Am I rolling for Saras still?
Yes, you are. So +5.
Saras, 18.
18. Okay, Saras is fine.
An 11 for Odie.
11 for Odie.
Wait, no, sorry. Stealth is 12, sorry.
12
for
for
Odie.
Okay.
Okay, Blue got an unnatural 20.
Hey!
Yeah.
And Vinny, uncharacteristically, only got 11.
11. Okay.
God. Posho team's not doing very well.
Perfect. So, on the hill, Theren, from your sort of commanding spot, you watch the party sort of split round and make their way. Blue and Saras actually very ably making their way across the river, round, avoiding your plane up in sight, using the sort of the ground of the raised bit just sort of behind to keep themselves stealthy. And they make their way around to the far tree. Vincent and Odie, when they get sort of round, there's sort of, scrambling up onto the bank where Vincent is, there's a splosh.
I facepalm.
And it's just like a big splosh as like a log gets hit into the water, and he sort of looks up, and then he's like, sort of grabs him and pulls him, and there's another splosh as he gets pulled out of the water. And between the two of them, they just sort of very quickly, and then quickly try and hide behind the trees. The creature sort of drinking, sort of halfway into his next drink, sort of and sort of just starts talking and pointing over in that direction. So you can do one thing before we roll initiative. You're kind of watching this happen on your command island. Yeah. What would you like to do?
Are these 5 or 10 foot?
These are 5 foot. This one.
Eldritch Blast.
Oh my god!
Where you are, Eldritch Blast.
Going
Which one are you
loud.
targeting?
Just went.
Targeting the closest one.
Yeah, this guy.
Yeah, closest one, hacking away at the sort of the corpse, whatever he's sort of doing. Yeah, with advantage because he
Oh,
is
thank God.
totally surprised.
Thank Christ for that. Oh,
Hey.
yes. 23.
23 hits,
Zappy zappy.
7.
7 points of damage. The Eldritch starts smashing in his head. Blue, what would you like to do? As this happens, you see the dark, spiraling bolt of energy launch from Theren.
Holy moly! Okay, oh yeah.
Oh, no, you're on a different island.
Right.
Sorry.
Stay on
You're
your
not on
island.
command island. I totally forgot. You've been stealthing.
Drazda and Aubrey will potentially be able to do things.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Aubrey, would you like
I'm
to do
gonna
anything?
dash as far as I can to this place.
Okay,
So it's,
Perfect.
I mean, I'm guessing it's difficult to
it
read.
is difficult to read.
Right,
Yeah.
so- It'd be 30 feet.
Oh, can I move as well? Sorry. Is that allowed?
You can move 15 feet, yeah?
So,
So it's 10 feet to get to the blue because it's double movement
Five.
through that black territory.
15,
And if you're moving across the
20,
river, you both need to make athletics
25.
checks
Yep.
before you go.
30?
So
Thank you. Yeah.
make athletics checks before you move over.
Oh, sorry.
I'll push it back.
Ooh. Well, athletics is 9. So I'm actually in the water, I think.
mine is 10.
10. The two of you sort of wade into the water, but the muddy ground, as you get into the water, it's getting stickier and stickier, and there's a moment where you go, oh, this isn't good, and you hit the water and start pulling your way up, and you find yourself stuck, and you can't get the base, and both of you are in the river.
Perfect. Fine.
While this happens. You totally get stuck, and you can't move.
Fine.
As the other sort of shouting, you can see the one holding a burnt mark on the back of his head, that the other sort of look around wildly drunk, and sort of pointing over in that way. So that will be initiative. We'll roll for initiative now.
Drozda?
Is Drozda
Would she
dead?
do it?
Yeah, Drozda would do something. How much she got?
I think she's good at missiles.
She just sort of pulling different sort of colours from everything around her, sort of greens from the grass, blues from the water. You can see different sort of browns from the trees, and pulls it into sort of a ball that spins round and launches it at the same one that
Theren.
Theren hit. So the chromatic orb coming out.
Oh,
so it's plus 5 d10.
Come on.
A d20, sorry.
21.
Hits, yeah. So
Do I
that's
roll
two-
again for surprise?
Yeah,
or-
you can, yeah.
Oh,
Still
a
hit.
bit better. Yeah.
So that, I think it's 2d10 for chromatic orb. So
Nice.
5, 8.
8 points of damage.
Oh,
Yeah, this lizard just completely unprepared. Smash. All these barrages of spells coming to the back of them. So we'll roll initiative now. And Odie gets advantage.
Yeah.
I forgot to.
we got it. Natural 20 on that one.
Nice.
So, Theren, what did you get?
20.
20.
Just straight 20.
Odie gets 11,
Even with advantage.
even with advantage.
Okay. Anything else for anyone else? Do you want to do the two tabaxi as well?
Oh, yeah,
One
sorry.
is just 0 and one is a plus 3.
Okay, I'll do the plus 3 first. 18.
18.
And the 0 is
Saras.
14
14.
for Drozda. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Blue got 4
Blue got 4.
and Vincent got 14.
14 for Vincent.
and Aubrey got 13.
13 for Aubrey. Okay, Theren, from your sort of command position, you just get stuck and as you stand there, but you are the first to react. What would you like to do?
Can I move out of this thing, or will that be my action?
You can try.
But will it be my action to try and get out?
You suspect that it might be quite a lot of effort to get yourself out, yeah.
Is that your way of saying yes?
Quite possibly. You're currently counting as restrained as the mud is sort of stuck you.
Okay, so
you have to
restrain,
make a
Strength check.
strength check.
and that is a disadvantage on all attack rolls, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so if I tried an Eldritch Blast, it would still be disadvantaged.
Yes.
Right, okay,
You're pretty stuck. You're limited in your movements. You're a bit off
Just
balance.
imagine Theren halfway in water going, yeah, yeah. Right, yeah, I'm going to try and get out.
Do it.
17, 19.
Yeah, you wrench yourself through. So you get to the bank. You can still move.
Okay, so, and one of these is 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would make it to
You
hit.
can make it to the tree. Yeah, you can sort of
Great.
hide yourself behind the tree.
And can I make an action?
The action was to pull yourself through.
Okay,
Unfortunately.
right. Thanks. That's me then.
Okay. Great. The lizard, sort of with the alcohol, sort of drinks it. You can see him sort of pointing and shouting, like spit sort of coming out. So looks back and sort of puts the alcohol bottle in the fire. You can see it light up, and he just lobs it towards where the trees, where the island is,
vodka,
with
love it.
Vinny and Odie.
Oh no!
So
Such a waste.
they both need to make a dexterity saving throw.
Did you? Ooh.
Oh.
As a natural 1,
10.
technically.
10.
Natural 1, but if it's
Natural 1.
yeah.
You both fail. Yeah, unfortunately
it's
so.
fine.
Flames leap up as whatever this alcohol was something very neat. It's like moonshine style. Just bursts into flames. 9 points of fire damage to both. That was a good D10.
That was good.
Goodness me.
Ooh, Vinny.
As the flames leap up around and good God, it's everywhere! Jesus!
Does Vinny get to dodge uncannily yet? Or is that...
That's
Level 5.
Okay.
You should know as a rogue.
I never got that far.
So the creature sort of just picking up a big heavy club, his shield, makes his way towards that island, so it's going to be 30 feet. He does not seem to be affected by the terrain at all, so it makes it 15, 20,
25, 30.
so all the way. You can see him just swimming through the river, using his tail almost as a bridge to push his weight and sort of spread it over a large surface. He moves very quickly. Saras is going to just try and from the green bank is going to try and leap the 10 feet across the dirt where she is onto the island. And actually she will step the wind to do that without check, so she just sort of climbs up a tree and jumps, climbing up into the bank,
So cool.
and making her way to the island, and will engage the one at the far back, sort of with his heavy shield that he picks up, and she's going to make an attack.
Come on.
So +5.
Oh.
Natural
Come
1.
on, yeah.
Natural 1. No, unfortunately not. She so jumps, doesn't
Which is
quite
like one
stick
sort
the
of like a
landing,
7.
swipes out and just catches the shield with a thunk as she sort of reels back, sort of pulling her hand back in a very feline sort of
cat-like way.
yeah. You can see the one in third sort of looks round at the two, points at the two lizardfolk, and sort of points at Saras. And like deal with their movement. He makes his way to the edge, closer to where Theren is, that direction, the red one.
The red one.
The one in thirds. It's almost like he's important for some reason. Yep. He sees Theren, who's cast this Eldritch Blast. Sees you on the tree. He's like, "You've come in your own cooking pot." And with a sort of clap, you see sort of this dust, this red dust. He sort of blows it, and this sort of embers float towards you, and as they engulf you, the wind sort of picking them up, you just feel this burning as your entire chest plate of your armor heats to unbearable heat. Heat metal spell. So you immediately take fire damage. I think it's 2d10. Asking Sam who's got the spell card. And I think it's 2d10.
2d8.
2d8. Oh,
Nice,
it's fine.
nice
I was
catch,
going
Sam.
to cheat you out of that. You grunt and take it 6 fire damage as you sort of
6.
ready yourself, but you can't. Your whole armor is just unbearably uncomfortable, and you feel yourself trapped just in this burning energy as this third figure, hand stretched, just sort of laughing maniacally to himself. Vincent, seeing this lizard approach Odie, is going to pull his bow and go get him, Odie! Go get him! And so he's holding his arrow until he gets closer.
He's holding it good.
Drazda is going to send Firebolt back over towards the figure in fur, so +5 to hit.
Come on.
14.
14 hits.
Hey!
Yes.
What am I
D10.
rolling? D10.
Yep.
4.
4 points of damage. Yeah, okay, you see him sort of, the fire just sort of whip into his fur, pads out. You don't think it had much impact on his armour as he sort of grunts slightly, but just holds his concentration on this stuff. Laughing to himself. Aubrey.
Oh, it is me. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna try and pull myself out of the bog.
Yeah, with an action. Would you like to rage?
I'm not gonna rage just yet.
Not just yet.
Not
Okay.
yet. I need to get closer. Ooh, that was always not really, but it is a what's it?
10 again, athletics check.
Athletics. That's fine. That's 19.
19. Yeah, you rip yourself through. You get to the bank.
Yep, and then use all my movement to get.
That should take you to about there.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, I'll go there. Yeah,
Go to that.
yeah.
Okay.
That's all I can do. That's all I'll do.
That's your movement for
Yeah.
now. Okay. Hunched over, just sort of covered in blood from the impacts of whatever butchery was going on, still smouldering from the impacts on his back. You can see the chromatic orb has left just a sort of combination of just sort of melting acid that's burning away at his scales. He's wiping it off as fast as he can. He, picking up his hatchet and his shield, is going to run towards the catfolk. Towards Saras. He's going to make an attack, which will hit, unfortunately, and gets a not very decent damage. That's only 3 damage.
Oh no.
That's not too bad. Second attack with the club this time. Oh, the hatchet, sorry. No, hang on, the hatchet was first. This time's the shield. But that doesn't hit the shield. She just sort of jumps gracefully over, climbs the shield, and is scratching, and he has to pull back in defense. It now goes to Odie, who,
Finally.
drawing her swords, will approach the lizardfolk in the terrain. Doesn't quite get into the water, but starts striking over.
Yep.
You can see Vincent unleashing his arrows. So Vincent, make the attack now. And Odie.
Nice! 20!
Natural 20. Sneak attack, critical damage.
Sneak attack.
Odie might not even need to do it.
I'll wait till they're done.
So it'll be 2d6s
Right.
overall. 5, so that's 6 times 2, 12 plus 4, so 16.
So remember, the sneak attack was 2d6.
Oh,
So you
so I
roll-
get
And the
another
bow
one.
does a d6. You should be rolling 66 on a critical hit.
Okay, so what did I say the first one was?
The
12.
first one was 12.
12, okay. And then we're going to add this times 2. 12 plus 8. 20.
20. Even with the modifiers? Was 66 you rolled?
No, you roll 3d6.
But then you
Would you-
double
I
it.
doubled them. Would you like me to?
No, as long as you're sure. How much damage did you do?
So it's 20
20.
total.
Yeah.
20 and 24 in total.
Yeah.
24 total. That's why I was checking,
Yeah.
because that was enough to go. The arrow, just as he comes, and you can see him lifting the shield, the arrow thunks into the side of his head, comes out the other side, and he just drops straight to the floor dead. He did not stand a
What
chance.
a lad.
Rogues.
What a lad.
What a
You
lad.
can see his sort of slightly drunken stupor is the last thing, sort of like a burp as he hits the floor.
Right in her face.
Yeah. So Odie, you move the fire. Oh, okay. And she's going to try and make her way.
You could
back
use him
up.
as his bridge.
Back up, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
She takes the sword, sort of thunks them into the ground. You can see her trying to get her longbow out, but she's not going to be able to
have
do
the time.
that
That's fine.
this turn.
Perfect.
Okay. The lizard with the heavy shield, big tower shield, sort of readies it up and takes what appears to be a small spear that he then starts, like a Roman legion, jabbing at Saras with it. So he's going to make a couple of attacks with that. Natural 1
Whoa.
and a 7. No, neither hit.
Nice.
So she's just liking, but she's very deftly keeping them both occupied. You can see her looking around the backup, but at the moment, nothing doing. Blue. Last but not least.
Come on.
1, 2, 3. Kind of nestled by this tree. Aim at this guy with a vicious mockery. I'm going to say, I've seen bigger lizards in pet shops.
You certainly can.
What?
So make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Come on.
It's a natural 1.
Yes. Okay, so you take a measly 2 points of damage.
Yep.
But the disadvantage, that's the important thing.
Advantage in the next attack roll.
Yeah, and does he lose concentration?
Well, he has to make a check. He does.
Yeah!
With a 2 on the dice. You see him, just that sort of psychic damage is done to him, and it sort of reels.
Vicious
back from
burn.
the impact. And he snaps his head around. You'll pay for that, dragon. And he sort of looks at you.
Everybody calling me dragon.
Meanwhile.
Meanwhile,
Back in Xerieos.
After this just technical, oh my goodness, that camera, you right there, you bloody camera.
However,
It's gonna
you-
work.
You, beautiful.
Love
you less
you.
good.
Yeah, you know how I feel. Back to the top of the initiative, we haven't really missed anything. Theren,
Great.
you feel just that intense burning from your armour. It just is released as this third individual at the top. Just you hear it sort of glance. He whips his head across in Blue's direction, and this venomous snarl as you feel the concentration on his spell was broken. What would you like to do?
Great, I'm going to move up to the just the edge of the water.
Sort of into the difficult, the muddy sort of bog.
Yeah. Pull back the sword and go, "Come, reptile, let me introduce you to your god." And use Baleful Curse on him again.
Okay, yeah. So had a short rest, yeah.
Yep.
So, okay, he's lost his concentration, but that little marker...
Will now be.
Actually, we'll use the yellow D4 for that. We'll use that as your one, Theren. So you've got that next to him. So yeah, you've got your curse on him. He's
Great.
lost concentration, so you can take your little ring off.
Oh, that's for disadvantage on his next attack.
Oh yes, of course.
15.
To hit with Eldritch Blast.
Yes.
Hits.
Yes!
Hey!
It was almost 19 as well. That's my fucking
D10.
So it's a D10, and you get to add your proficiency, don't you, to it? So that's because he's under the baleful curse. For every hit.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So it's a D10 plus 2.
That's a bit cocked.
Yeah, that's okay,
cocked.
7.
Nice.
7 points of damage again. This impact sort of thuds into his chest, but he's sort of looking at Blue. He doesn't even wince. He just sort of is staring down. So that's your action. Any more movement? About 10 feet of movement to get to where you are. But you can try and cross the river if you want.
No. Everyone's still in spell range, and it would take shit. No, do I want to? But it would take forever to get over there, and potentially I'd be fucked twice. Yeah, I'm gonna try and cross. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. My athletics check.
Hey!
Yeah. That is a 23.
This time, learning from your experiences last, you kind of leave yourself and leap with all your force to get over the worst of it. You don't stand in the water itself. You manage to leap across it. 20 feet of your movement. You can make it another little bit.
Great.
If you want one more square with your movement.
Yes, I do. So we'll go there.
Perfect. Great. Okay.
I'm just slowly trudging towards this guy. We saw him go.
It's like that film, It Follows. It's always constantly going towards you at some speed.
Only flinging eldritch magic at you as well.
Yeah. Sarah, sort of ducking and diving, quickly whips her head back to Blue. Help me! Quickly! Help! As she takes a swipe at the... Who's she going to go? The slightly injured one, covered in blood. So D20 plus 5.
Yay!
24.
Hits D4 plus 3.
6.
6 points of damage. Actually, as she does that, she goes to hit. The big guy with the heavy shield sees her coming and will attempt to impose his shield between. So roll the attack again. She has disadvantage technically.
Come on.
So do 6 damage if it hits.
What's the modifier?
It's 5, wasn't it?
Plus 5.
19.
Still hits.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, she's on it.
Nips in there.
So it was 6 damage to the one. Oh, he's so close to die. Okay, she, seeing how injured he is just going to go into a flurry of scrapes.
Yeah.
Is it a disadvantage again?
That's a good question, actually. Has someone got a player's handbook? Just look up fighter quickly. There's the defense, it's like the protection archetype.
I mean, I'm just going to roll anyway.
Yeah. It's either against that attack or it's against all attacks against
Natural
the target.
20, by the way.
On the first roll.
Yeah.
So we'll just see if it's a disadvantage.
Alright, sorry, guys. What was it? Defense, is it? No.
Yeah, the protection one.
Protection.
You can use your reaction to defend somebody.
It says, when a creature you see attacks another target than you within 5 feet of you, you can use your reaction to impose disadvantage on the attack roll. You must be wielding a shield, and that's all it says.
Right.
I guess it's your reaction.
Perfect. So it's reaction to on that attack, so it doesn't count on the other attacks.
Yes.
So natural 20, it dies. Don't even roll for damage. It is. She just this time claws and with a thwack connects once with this lizard as it sort of swings the axe. It blindly punch drunk swings again with its cleaver, and this time she gets the claws and just rips its jaw off from underneath, just exposing it. It just falls back straight on its back, just out cold. As a third attack now, she whips around with her tail, whacks into the one with the shield. Flurry of blows, I called it before.
19 again.
Yep.
19 hits, yeah.
Come on.
Even the one with the huge shield.
4 plus whatever it is. 3, is it?
Yep.
7.
7 points of damage.
Are you sure you need my help?
NPC.
Yeah, she's just like raining blows down. Get over here! We've got the big one to take care of. As she swings around.
You look alright.
I'm telling you, MVT. Most valuable.
We're taking the tabaxi with us.
MVT.
And Bram.
And Bram.
And Bron.
You know what? I've warmed to these two as well. We can take them.
Or British just there, like,
Okay. Looking down at you, you can see Theren now sort of coming across.
Terminator style.
Yeah, just he sort of snarls. I'm tired of you. My pets will handle you. And this time you just feel this energy ripple down his arm as this sort of green spark as he stamps on the floor. And the ground around him, the grass, seems to sort of grow. And all around you, Theren, this sort of... It's just almost like a sort of vines rise up and form almost like a gate. And coming out of it are 4
Who crap?
crocodiles.
Oh
Make their way
no.
out as he summons into existence 4 crocodiles around Theren. 3 of them around him and 1 of them making its way towards Aubrey. Now, do you mind if I borrow that player's handbook back, David? So there's certain things we look up. I just need to double check that spell because conjure animals, I think they go on their own initiative.
It's fine. The thing we fought earlier was an alligator.
Yeah. So roll initiative separately.
Oh my god.
Now is the time
they
to not
actually
have a
roll
phobia.
really well, but that's bad for them.
Because they're going next
That means they have to
turn.
go next round.
Yeah. So he sort of laughs as he sort of leaves his hand over. I think actually, let me just double check. That's 4 beasts of yeah. So this is 4 of them.
Alright,
as he
we've got the
walks
archers.
away, and with one sort of, he just sort of pulls his sort of claws and he flexes as he walks slowly over and gets into melee range with Saris.
The D4 following behind.
Hey.
It is now Vincent's go. Vincent,
Have you managed that?
I don't know.
calling to you, Theren. You okay, good sir?
Get the mage!
Right. So he is going to, with his bonus action, he will attempt to dash. So he is going to, with a dash and a running jump, he's going to try and go from green bank to green bank with a dash because it's a long jump.
Yep.
So roll an athletics check.
11.
11. He clears about 15 feet. So he jumps all the way.
Yeah.
So where does he get to?
I'm guessing here, so I'm just trying to work it out.
Perfect. Yeah. Great. And he's going to take a short bow shot at
I
the
think
big
it must
guy.
be. Is it disadvantage though?
No,
Sorry.
it should be within range.
35, 40. Yeah, it should be fine. Yeah.
16.
16 hits.
Oh, nice.
He gets sneak attack.
Can I grab a
Yeah, of course you
D6?
can.
Right. Ooh, that's not bad. 12 plus 4, 16.
Hey.
16 damage.
Oh, rogues.
This time the arrow sinks deep into this guy's thigh. He sort of grunts as he pushes forward. He's going to try and make a Constitution saving throw. How much damage was it?
I was 16.
16, so he's got to pass a DC 10. He gets 12. So the spell is still up. As Vincent has made his way forward. Dresden is going to... What would she do? She's got a couple of spell slots up, but she wants to save them. So she will again just firebolt one of the crocodiles because it's an easier target for her. So D20 plus 5
22.
hits.
What am I rolling? D8?
D10.
Oh, D10. 6.
6. 6 damage. Okay. Perfect. You can see the flame strike hit the crocodile. The flames ripping apart. It's sort of scaled back as it's snapping and snarling. One making its way towards Aubrey. 3 of them around Theren. Okay. It is Aubrey's go. You see the crocodile coming towards you.
Mm-hmm.
You are not raging. I would like you to make a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
No worries. That's wisdom saving for 14.
14. There's a sense of fear that wells up in you. You feel yourself beginning to panic, just that memory over and over and over. And you just get lost in time for a second, but there's a moment that just sort of snaps you back to reality and they're smaller. It's not the same.
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
Good, thank God. I think also seeing like Theren surrounded by them as well jolts me back. So I'm going to throw a javelin at the closest one here.
Yeah, the injured one?
Yeah.
Yeah, do it. You gonna rage or are you
No, I'm not
just-
gonna rage.
Right,
No. Oh no, that's an 8.
doesn't hit.
Nope.
No, unfortunately, the javelin it just smacks off its armor and it doesn't
Yep.
make penetration.
Yeah, that's fine.
Ha! Ha!
I'm just gonna stay where I am.
There you
Yeah.
are. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Odie, seeing the crocodiles, she will not pass up an opportunity to get a few hits in. So she will make
Just take
she will make an attack against the injured one. So with her longbow, take a shot.
Oh, that is only. Well, actually, hang on, say that. That's 14 to hit.
14
Oh, check it up.
hits.
Hey!
Whee!
Hey!
That is a 7 plus 4, so that's 11 points of damage.
11. The arrow sinks deep. It snaps and is wildly shaking. It doesn't quite kill it, but you can tell it's a lot of damage. And then she makes another attack against the closest one to her.
That's 14 as well.
Hits.
Sorry,
Great math.
it was upside down. 8 plus 12.
12.
Yeah.
Yeah, this time just gets 2 fantastic shots straight into its sort of where she thinks the spine is. Doesn't quite hit the first one. The second one, the arrow doesn't quite go in as deep as she hopes, but 2 solid hits into the crocodiles. And she's like, "Don't worry, Theren, I'll get you. I'll get you." She's calling out. So the lizard with the heavy shield is going to just try and bash at Saris, who's desperately fighting over there and does hit this time. Gets a decent hit and 8 points of damage. Really does get a sort of a smack. She can sort of get snapped back. You can see her picking her position back up, regathers herself for the next attack. This time you can see the club swing from underneath the spear, and again hits. Not for as much damage this time, but again nicks her on the leg this time. You can see her winded from the shield bash and now taking damage. Isn't quite as in a good position as she was before. Blue. Down to the bottom.
Okay. So the green is normal terrain, is it?
The grass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is firm ground.
So 5, 10, and then leaping across to there would be the equivalent of 20.
Okay,
If
so
I
make an
can get
athletics check
across.
because you're jumping over something with like Vincent could do it with the dash because he's moving so quickly, but with you,
Oh.
19. Oh, that's
you-
Vincent.
you're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
You're gonna be fine.
And
You
I
Make it across, jump across.
and then can I take a slash at shieldy guy?
Yes, you can.
Come on.
Come on, man, you get
Come
this.
on.
You can see he brings his huge tower shield out.
Oh, natural 1.
Don't worry, next time.
Yeah.
Next time.
You swing and smack the shield and have to wince as your arm just takes that jolting impact right up the bone. You're like, ah! Almost dropping your weapon.
And I will give. How much inspiration have I got? Yeah, I'll give inspiration to Saris because she's kind of getting beaten up.
Okay.
I'll go. Why so Saris?
She chuckles.
Who's Saris?
I'm Saris.
Cool.
No, I am Saris.
Perfect.
I am Saris.
Back to the top, Theren.
Okay.
These crocodiles now beginning to snap and leer towards you. You feel them revving for an attack.
And I'll be flat out honest with you, Ryan. I don't love it. Okay, so trying to fend off the 3 that are on side, I kind of just spin and slash down with Bear Claw at the one between me and Aubrey.
Okay, make an attack.
17.
17 hits.
Come on.
Bearclaw whips down with a flourish.
4 plus. Okay, so 4, 8, 10 damage.
10 damage. With a crack, the blade makes impact. It just passes through its head with a sort of crack. You can see the force, not of your strength, but almost like force of will as its head is snapped back. It just drops dead. And actually, as it dies, there's sort of like a... as it melts into the wind, this sort of air of energy sort of puffing down.
That's my first kill with Bear Claw.
Really?
Yeah. And you killed a fey creature.
It
Oh.
felt good.
Somewhere in the world.
Okay, yeah, so that's your attack. You've got bonus action, you've got movement. What are you doing?
No, I'm gonna
Stay.
stay here, fend them off, but I'm going to yell back to Aubrey, ignore these, go round, take care of the two before they run.
Perfect. Okay. So the crocodiles.
Fuck on.
The crocodiles are going to take one look at you and they're going to go, yes.
Yeah.
This may be tasty. So each one is going to take a bite at you.
Right.
6 to hit.
Nope.
Oh.
14 to hit.
Nope.
21 to hit.
Yes.
Okay, you take. No, that's a percentile dice. I don't like rolling them for d10s. That's just terrible. 4 piercing damage,
Okay.
and you are considered grappled.
Okay.
You're also considered restrained, so you can't move, and your attacks are at disadvantage whilst you're being restrained, as it gets its like teeth round your leg, snaps shut, stops you from moving. You sort of instinctually wrench, but you can't quite through it as you're fending the other two off. They don't want to come anywhere near the sword. Let's say for purposes of argument, the injured one is on a 1 on 2. No, so it's one of the uninjured ones that's got you at the moment.
Okay.
Okay, Saras is going to attempt to attack the shield. Let's see how effective she's got.
And she's got inspiration.
What's Sarah's modifier?
Plus 5.
That's
I don't reckon use it. No, she misses.
5. No, okay. She's going to make a bonus action attack, another hit against him.
Come on.
8 plus 5 is 13.
13.
She's going to use it.
Yeah, do it. We need it.
Yes!
Plus 6, 19.
Hits.
Oh.
Yeah, very good.
Come on.
Inspired this time, she sort of
Thank you.
whips around and you think the blow is going to hit the shield, but she almost falls to the floor and swipes out, cracking against this guy's leg.
Oh.
1 plus
Plus
3, 4.
4.
4 points of damage. It all helps as again just a whack. It has to bring its leg back, slams the shield into the ground, leaving its top half exposed, but now protecting its sort of. It's like lowering its guard on Tekken, you know. It's like up guard, low guard. As it sort of pulls himself down. Okay, the shaman is going to hold his concentration. Here's a question.
Yeah.
Is Shillelagh,
Shillelagh.
is it a bonus action or
Bonus.
an action?
It's a bonus.
A bonus action.
That's going to be my bet.
Do you reckon? It's one bonus action.
Yep. Touch.
Would that make any sense for him?
Gonna hit you with my magic glove. Club, 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 big glove.
But he has this spell, but it doesn't actually do anything.
He
Shillelagh.
should use it.
Oh no, it does.
It lets you use your
Yeah.
spell modifier.
Yeah, no, but it increases the damage as well.
Yeah.
So he
Yeah.
gets so basically he sort of casts. You can feel his claws. Probably I'm going to use them as a natural weapon for him. He sort of rips, and you can see thorns and spikes sort of grow as he goes and makes 2 attacks against Saras, who has been bothering him for so much.
What a bothersome tabaxi.
A 21 to hit. 18 to hit, both hit.
Oh no.
So with a D8 now. Uh, 12, 14, 16. He gets 2. He just rakes. You can see with the first attack, he grabs her side, rips and just grabs her tail and pulls her in. But the second one smacks her across the head. You can see her reel back and stand up for a sec and just drop down unconscious. So she is now down as he sort of laughs and reels and turns on you. You're next, little one, and goes towards you. But it's not your go just yet. So, Vincent is going to
Come on.
attempt to take a shot
Come on,
at...
Vinny.
He wants to get the numbers down, but he knows about the crocodiles. What would he do? What would he do? Intelligence check. Let's have a look. Make an intelligence roll for me, sorry. Oh, yeah.
17 plus 1.
18.
Okay, he remembers Theren telling him to hit the big guy. He shoots at the big guy.
Come
Make
on.
a short bow attack.
Come on.
17.
Yep,
Yeah,
it's good.
23.
23 hits.
Is it sneak?
It is.
Oh. Sorry, I'm really tense.
Three.
You're like a panto audience.
It's
good.
6, 6, and 3.
Oh.
Plus 4.
Plus 4.
So
Brain
12, 7, 19.
19
Thank
points
you.
of damage. Jesus Christ. Again, this time it gets him in the back between the shoulder blades. You see him just hunch over in pain as he goes to try and rip it out. In agony, blood pouring down his back. He can't reach it. He's sort of visibly hampered now. He reels back, snarling. It does not look in a good place. With the Constitution saving throw on the table. That's a 20. Now he holds the spell somehow, just in his dying efforts. Holds the spell. So now we are down to Dresden, who hearing again. They can make a d20 plus 3.
16.
16. With a flourish, she sends a firebolt whipping over the crocodile's head towards the big guy. So d20 plus 5.
11.
Doesn't hit. No, unfortunately, the fire just straight past his head, hitting a tree. You can see several branches burst into flame. She's pulling another volley, summoning more energy, but doesn't get the hit, unfortunately. Aubrey.
I'm going to race over the river
Yep.
towards the crocodile that holds Theren.
Okay.
So I guess it's a athletics check first.
Yeah. Do it.
It's a 19 plus 5.
Yeah, you
so
jump over, so that's probably 15 feet of your movement to get to that point with the difficult terrain. If you're going straight
I'm
over.
literally going to the crocodile, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to rage out.
You're going to rage?
Yeah, rage out. And then attack it if I can.
Yeah.
I'm sure that makes sense, yeah.
Go for it.
Okay. Well, first of all, so Storm's aura in it.
Yeah.
So it needs to make it.
So there's one injured one, and there's an uninjured one that's grabbing.
I want the one grabbing Theren.
Perfect.
Yeah. So dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity saving throw.
Technically-
And I will give it disadvantage
Thank you.
because he's currently holding Theren. That
Thank you.
feels fair. That feels fair. Natural 1.
Excellent. That's a 6.
6 points of damage.
6 points of lightning.
The lightning cracks up its spine. You can see it tense. Theren, there's a moment where you're like, ah.
Wearing metal.
And then a great axe attack.
All your hair goes on end.
The ponytail shoots off.
That is a 16 plus 5, so 21.
Hits.
Excellent. It's a...
Oh my god.
Like an anime character.
That is a 12 plus 3 plus 5, so that is... Oh god, hang on, maths. 17 slashing damage.
10 points of damage. You just decimate this with the crackling because it tenses. You see the moment and you go right and slam the axe down on its head and just you behead it. The whole thing, bam, into the ground.
Oh my god.
And with the momentum, because you remember your feet.
Yeah? What?
Remember your feet.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what my feet is.
Remember your feet.
Oh my god,
Episode 10. We're going to use your first time of using the feet. What would you like to do, Fiona?
Let's go hit the other one.
Oh, actually, technically you can't because you raged this round. Never mind.
Get told off with it. I'm like, what? I don't know. I'm not OD. I'm not.
It's a great weapon master. If you kill someone as a bonus action, you can make another attack with a weapon that she's raged this
I'm
round.
just like, what? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll remember for next time when I hit it again. That's fine.
We know for next time, don't we? Actually, that's quite harsh, isn't it? Because you can't use your lightning damage and also great weapon master.
No, that's alright though. I can choose to use it or not.
Yeah.
I'm fine with
She
that.
might not kill something.
Yeah.
In which case you would definitely.
In which case you made the weapon attack first before.
It's fine. It's because when I go into my rage, I use Storm's Aura straight away.
Yeah.
So
this turn it doesn't make
Yeah.
a difference. Okay, fair enough. Sorry about that.
Technical.
But Theren, you're no longer grappled because
Wait.
the head still on your leg, but completely decapitated from the body of the crocodile, and the whole thing just again fades away to sparks of light as it disappears.
I'm okay with my orders being ignored in this situation. It's fine.
Perfect. We are now down to Odie. Odie,
She's ready.
okay, this time it's going to take a shot at the shaman.
One. It's a 14
Good.
plus 8, 20,
That hits.
22. Yeah.
What's the dex? +4?
Yes.
Yeah,
plus
kills
four.
him.
Yes!
This time the arrow just embeds in his back again. He tenses up and just collapses unconscious. This time again, the crocodiles just dissolve into nothingness. As Theren, you look up and you realise, this must have turned. Fantastic.
Are you ready again?
Ankles deep in this mud as you're sort of wading through it.
Does she get the horde breaker or is that?
Yes, she does.
Sweet.
Will Odie just clean up here?
It's 14 plus 8, so
22,
22.
yeah.
Yeah.
That hits. Go on, Odie.
Come on.
NPC.
1 plus 4 is 5.
That's fine. Yeah, damage is done, but he's not dead yet. Just this time, glances again, hits his injured leg. He's pulling it away, drops to one knee, still with the shield, looks over his shoulder desperately. Sees his dead shaman and is sort of swinging wildly by this point. In fact, it is his go. He is going to just make 2 attacks against Blue with his spear as the only target near him.
Come on.
Unfortunately, Blue, 20 to hit.
Yep.
Whoa.
And a 12 to hit.
No.
No, so one of them hits. That's 6 points of piercing damage as the spear again jabs into your side. You stop the majority of the damage, you manage to whip it down.
Oh yeah, you're
I gain health back.
Oh yeah, there you go, you gained health back.
Finally.
Congrats.
That's what that was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a decent little healing if you do it every combat, isn't it?
You
Right.
need a short rest.
Also, like, the more my warlock levels and charisma go up, the more I get.
So,
So what damage? Sorry.
so did 6 damage to Blue. How you feeling? You doing alright?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. You have a sword, you actually parry away before it does too much damage to you, but it still nicks you. Does your go?
I'm gonna hit him
Do
because she looks fine.
Do it.
It's poor cat.
No, that's not my roll. I will use cure. No. Yeah, I'll use a Philip on her. No, I'll use a Philip on her.
Yeah.
First or second level?
First level.
First level.
1d8 plus. My thing is. I believe. Sorry. Sorry. I should have memorised this.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, everyone.
My spells. They're everywhere. Plus 7. I think.
No, it's you're with your charisma.
Plus 5. So 7 in total.
7.
8 in total.
8
Sorry.
in total. Okay.
She's fucking back in the game.
Yeah, just again, this sort of musical energy surges into Sarah.
Philip.
Oh no, of course. But also when Philip does it, this musical energy surges into Sarah. Yeah, and you see her body just sort of stir. The big claw marks down the side of her face, sort of still scarred, but heal over slightly. You can see her wounds starting to feel. Her eyes come open, looking at you. Looks at the shield guy.
Looks at Philip.
Doesn't seem to take as much attention to Philip as maybe a normal
person would have.
Yeah,
Of course.
doesn't particularly mind. It's cool with Philip.
That's me done.
Theren.
Okay, Eldritch Blast.
Yes.
Do
End
it.
it.
Hey.
17.
Hits. That's
Come on.
exactly what you needed.
Come on.
3. Just 3.
Yeah.
3 damage. Just these impacts just hit him. He's still standing, but he's now staggering. He can barely keep himself up at this point. Anything else you want to do?
No.
No, they're dead. Saras
Saras.
getting up and sort of in a sort of
Come on.
kung fu style twirling sort of break up. She's going to make 2 attacks
Come on.
as she sort of rights herself with her attack and bonus attack. So 2 d20s plus 5 on each.
Okay, 24 for the first
Hits.
one, and 18 for the second one.
Both hit. She just leaps up at him, claws at him. You can see again the same thing, just ripping, hind legs kicking in, disemboweling him almost as she just goes to turn and kills him.
Yes.
Cool. Well, it's 10
Nice.
damage.
Yeah, but definitely dead.
Yeah, and you're out of initiative.
Right.
NPCs for the win. I start beheading.
Crossing
Make a
the
medicine check.
Oh my god.
crossing the river's not in initiative.
1. That's a natural 1.
Is
on
that-
You can take your time to do it out of initiative, yeah.
Great. Okay.
Especially with Odie's help, you kind of help each other across.
So I 1 again.
It is a natural
Jesus
one.
Christ.
Natural one. You're going and you're feeling so confident about the beheading and the way that you can just sort of hack. You just sort of look up at Theren and almost like, is he going to tell me to stop doing it? and thwack and look down and just like across the face and has taken one eye out. You just slash straight into his head.
Oh God!
You have to sort of take it out as a pop noise.
And when you look up, that is the moment where Theren is staring. Blue, we really need to teach you how to do that. Is everyone all right?
Saris is at this point of sort of the battle rage sort of dissipating from her. She goes to one knee, her tail defensively wrapped around her. I feel better. Sits down.
Right.
At this point, Drazda sort of made her way over, sort of is very defensively. And she sort of just starts patting her down and looking after her, and is sort of just very defensively sort of tending to her.
Drasta, Saris, do we have enough time to rest here for half an hour before your mother's attack?
She sort of looks up at the sky. Yes, we've made good time, actually. We have another short rest before.
Can I just say, we're a kick-ass team. You should come adventuring with us.
You said the lizards had how many in terms of numbers? 25?
Yes, that's
All right.
approximately what we thought.
So we've killed 5 on the way here, 4 here, so that puts them around 15, 16 left. Is that right?
What, that and the lizardfolk you killed before? And Vincent's like, yeah.
Yep.
Totally.
25 being the number that we took them down to.
Oh, yes, of course, yes.
Yes. So we've got about 16 left.
Nice.
Seems about right, yes.
Right, that's not too many.
But they
Should be right.
may not all be in the hunting within the Nook itself. There's
That's even
always
better
hunting
news.
parties,
Distraction.
There's always, the distraction. We might.
All right.
This may work. And she's sort of, I need a rest. Can anybody? I feel I've only got so much left. Has anyone got anything they can use?
I think you'll find when
I-
I'm quiet, you feel much better.
I walk over to Saris, say, have a rest, we'll see what Blue can do. I know some magic, I can sort you out. And actually no, fuck it, so we're about to take a short rest, and I have a warlock spell slot that I haven't used, so I'm going to use Cure Wounds for the first time.
Theren has cure wounds, everyone. You know he's never
Oh
used
my god,
that.
I've just remembered I've got Cure Wounds.
Too busy smiting.
Too busy
Typical
smiting.
paladins, eh?
Also, you know,
Smiting for days.
For the short rest.
it's my warlock slot that I'm going to burn for this one, not one of my
Nice.
paladin slots.
yeah.
My spellcasting modifier is my is +5.
Yeah.
Oh wait, yeah,
Yeah.
spell attack bonus is your casting modifier.
No, so
isn't it?
when you heal, you use your
You right?
you use your
Trying to
charisma,
find my
so it's
dust.
+3.
You
So
never
it's a
go
D8.
Okay, right. So
on the
okay, I
You
walk.
only put your proficiency to hit, not on the actual.
Hit you with healing.
Oh, it's not a lot. I walk over and I heal her for 4 points of damage, and we'll just see how she's doing after the rest. If
Yeah.
she needs lay on hands.
Okay.
Or I can.
I might as well use the lay on hands pool because I've got like 15.
And we've got
Yeah.
healing potions as well, so
Yeah, it's true. I've got a lot of spells. But yeah, should we have a rest?
Yeah.
you might need them.
Perfect. As the party make their way sort of towards the central camp, you start using the fire, you post watches, we'll deal with perception checks and everything next time, but you take a short rest. And that is where we'll end it today. Lots of combat, very combat heavy. We'll do some more stuff in a bit, but it's a good way of... Yeah, you've just taken a side and you've stuck to it, and it's very effectively, which is good.
Good job, team.
Yeah, sorry about the camera in advance. There'll be little patches in it, but what can you do? Unfortunately, it's just equipment issues.
We'll get them sorted.
Starting up. Thank you very much for watching. Don't remember, subscribe, like. It all helps get a little bit of momentum. We're all trying to. Well, I'm trying to tweet. I'm learning to tweet very slowly. These guys are much better
I
at
need
me.
to tweet more, but yes.
Yes.
Fiona's
Very
the unsung
good.
hero of tweeting at the minute.
Please. Thank you for watching. It's much appreciated, and see you next time. Happy
Bye.
birthday!
See you later. Happy birthday.
Me.